Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Long time no see for most people. It's been a little while since I did one of these. Hopefully, everyone is doing very well. Apologies for my absence from the video waves. Been taking a short break, and I couldn't. It became clear in my last season that the videos I was making were somewhat compromising my team in Diplo reasons. So if that ever happens, I have to kind of take a step back and prioritize. Obviously, the couple of hundred people who play with me and my teams. So I took a step back, and then also I got a little bit of burnout from playing the game. It was a good season, but I got a little bit of burnout, so I decided to take a short break, basically a couple of months off. But we are back, and we are now doing the first in a while of season start streams. So hopefully we start pretty well here. We are in a Rings of Power server. And it looks like it's going to be quite a big one. I know, obviously, you've got Home and Mine, which is no spoiler. The team I usually play with. So I'm sticking with Home, and obviously Mine is our partner. And then we have a couple of other big teams in there. I believe smaller here. Puro, I think, is how it's pronounced, which I believe is former Aces players. Another very strong team, and I think Panda are in here too. Previously, there was Step in here too. I don't know if they've remained, but yes, very, very strong teams around. Right, time to decide which style I want to go for. It's a tough one here because I'm very tempted to go for Morgul Orc here. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Quite often previously, I've gone for Dunedain style right off the back, but as we're spawning in Darklands, I think I'm going to kick off straight away with Morgul Orc. Plus, I really enjoy their opening starter unit, starting with the Crusher. It's a unit I very much enjoy, so I think I'm going to give that a go. And if I want to use mounted units for mounted units at the start, I can always just pick up some trackers. I tend to not go full mounted units on my troops anyway, so going with some Crushers will probably be better. Right. Now, time to kind of outfit our commanders. I've got a little bit of problem at the minute where at the back end of my last season, I flipped up some gear to try and test out a 3 support build using Gil Galad as well. So you see I've got gold support gear. And in doing so, I stripped down the Shadows gear with the intention of putting it back for season end, which I did collect the hammers for. I have a lot of permanent hammers, but I also collected a load of season end hammers, and then I forgot to do it before the end of the season. I think I need more than this number of hammers to put it back, so we might be a little bit compromised with the gear we have available to us, but I'll do the best kind of with what I've got to begin with. So, starting off the back, let's just get our buildings done. Let's not faff around. Apothecary, barracks, storage. There we go. I've stayed fairly clear of the game, so I'm not sure if or what changes have been made to the game since I last stepped in. So for all I know, it could be a completely different game, completely different meta. But I guess I won't know till I kind of try it. Right, I need to set up all my commander skills first. So I'm going to go for King Under the Mountain first up. And then I'm actually also going to go 5 in Ironfoot for the stun. Then I'll start building up Durin's Blood here. So the reason I'm doing that is I want the early 1 round cooldown activations. So it means I start hitting hard with Dane in round 2 rather than round 3 here. Because a lot of typical battles, particularly on early tiles, don't go that far. So, if I can get them to start a little bit, end a little bit sooner, the better, basically. Now, Shadow. Dual blows, and then I need it to target 3 formations like that. So perfect. Of course, Gandalf the White, being one of the best supporters, will always be here. Now I've got to decide, do I want White Council for less damage being taken, and do I want White Rider for more damage being dealt? It's a hard one. I think I'm going to go with White Rider in this situation. This could be a mistake, but we'll see. Now, Shadow. This is a little bit of a tough one. Just got to double check what the kind of skill order for him is to make sure I activate everything in the right order. As I can't remember off the top of my head. I believe it's this one first, then this one. But either way, what I'm after is the Madness and the Stun for a lot of crowd control in early tiles, and then the rest I'm going to put into the Deceiver, because I get that kind of 35% chance of Madness from here as well, so lots and lots of crowd control from him. Gil-galad, unfortunately, while he's got gear, of course, will not be used early on as I'm not using Elven units, so there's no point using him at the minute. Similar with Elrond. King of Men will be used as a damage dealer. So I believe it's this one first to get that damage dealt plus 10%. Then I'll put the rest in Strider, because again, I want that 1 round cooldown. Isildur's decent as a tank. We have Beorn. Radagast will definitely be used for his healing ability. This one's better in the early rounds. This one's better for prolonged rounds. And this activates first, so let's go with the brown. Yep, Beorn as well for damage. So again, we've got Anduin Vale Chieftain, which does the bleed. We have Enemy of Orcs, and we have Skin Changer, but that only activates after round 4. So I think we're probably going to go with Anduin Vale Chieftain here, then Enemy of Orcs next time. Though the fact that it has Incursion is kind of tempting me to go with this one first, just so I get that early round damage in. And then let's try that. It could be completely off, but let's do that and then put the bleed in like that. Saruman here at respect 0 for now. Yeah, tons of commanders here. So let's just get one march going with Dane and Gandalf the White, as we do need to take one tile at some point. Gandalf the White, Dane, and of course they're not going to get bloodline buffs from orcs here. In fact, it's one troop Dane. And I think on Gandalf the White, if we can, we'll use some kind of more defensive-based gear. So we use either the Noldor or the Lang. So 27, 18. Let's go with the Noldor. Don't know if we can take a level 3 straight off the bat. I have absolutely no idea. Guess we find out and we send another one. We'll see how it goes straight away. Right, okay, we got a level 3 straight off the bat. How did that go? Fairly easy. That's always a good sign. Always a very good sign. Now let's request to join home. Oh, that's interesting. There's 100 spaces right off the bat at the start of this. That's always good. You don't have to level up your fellowship. So how many troops did we actually lose here? Did we lose? Where do I see? It doesn't tell you troop numbers, does it? Which is a bit disappointing. Unless I go to the actual list. Is what it is. Right. I need this so I can get time out of time, basically. Will that have leveled it up 1 level? Come on. Can I take time control? There we go. That's what I want. Now I've got time control, I can actually speed straight through my buildings as quickly as humanly possible. Acutely aware I haven't picked up most of my purchasables, like the season pass. I don't actually know what this is. Got a free thing. Yeah, I need to pick up a lot of these early on, particularly the stamina ones and production. a fair few of these I think I'm going to be picking up fairly soon on, but for now I can process without it. I'll just see how quickly I can get through. At some point, obviously, we're going to hit that early resource bottleneck. Nice. Have we got a level 4 Morgul quarters needed for the next one? Sooner the better. Right, stone bottleneck hit nice and early on, but we should be able to just kind of keep pushing through chapters, hopefully, and that will get us to a scenario where we get straight back out of that, hopefully. Now, there's a wood one here, but we're more worried about stone, so let's do the same again. Just going to use a little bit of stamina, push Dane and Gandalf the White maybe 2-3 tiles, and then we'll switch over to probably Shadow and Sauron maybe. A little bit of time. In fact, we can start getting them put together now. So we kind of want a damage dealer and a support while we've got 2. So that'll be, as I said, Sauron and Shadow. Can't make a third in a minute, but it'll probably be like King of Men and Radagast or something like that. Something which can heal at the same time. And we do have our free chest now. Celebrations, heartfelt gift. I can get Lord of the Eagles. Oh, is there a new commander that's come in? That's very interesting. I wasn't even aware of this, which is pretty nuts. Right, is there an easy way to see what Gwaihir does? Survival and leader. The Great Eagle, also known as the Wind Lord, born to the world at an unknown time, descending from Thorondir, King of the Eagles. In ages past, the Great Eagles were dispatched to Middle-earth by, I'm going to butcher all of these pronunciations, but Manwë, King of the Valar, to serve as watchers and messengers, gathering tidings of Middle-earth and carrying them back to the Valinor, all while lending aid to the free peoples in their battles of darkness. Stats-wise, obviously very fast. Interestingly, seems to be very defensive. High command as well, and a command-based relic. Damage dealt by allied units with Featherborn plus 1%, and damage dealt by large units plus 1%. I'm assuming there's going to be an Eagle support commander. So what's Grant's Featherborn? Doesn't really explain what that is. So kind of like armor piercing here. Damage dealt by large units to medium. So first off, this skill looks to be to kind of try and balance off the prevalence of medium units at the minute and increase the usage of large units. The fact that it specifies large units only suggests that Gwaihir could be incredibly strong with something like Mumakil, which would be quite funny to see. But we'll see if the rest specifies flying units. Damage dealt by large units, again, buffed up. Increase effect is modified by command. And when Gwaihir is part of a flying army, march speed increases, but then again, not massively important to battle. Defense of large units. Attack of just regular formation units. Attack of allied units with Featherborn. But that grants Featherborn, doesn't it? So you have to take this first to get the benefit of this. It doesn't specify they have to be flying, so that's interesting. Each round allows large units of advanced formation and one allied formation of units with Featherborn to deal an instance of physical damage. Choice of enemy target is determined by the unit's own attack type. So again, does that mean that something like a Mumakil would hit all units again? I'm starting to see that potentially combining this with someone like Black Serpent or something like that could actually be quite an entertaining build-up. I'd like to see. I'll wait and see on builds like that. Undying being on here is rather tempting. Someone that I've been trying to get for a little while. I don't actually have him respected up, but I've been looking for chests and invites for him in. Oh, game crash. Love that. Get to enjoy my background with my lovely puppy. It's always great when the game plays so well. I have turned off performance mode, I think, and then now it's just crashing relentlessly, which is pretty crazy. Right, I'll do one more march with Dane. I don't know if I can take level 4s, you know, like, is it worth just sending it at level 4? Probably not. One more level 3 is probably wiser. Let's not get greedy straight off the bat. We always do this every season, get super greedy early on, and then absolutely kill our troops off very, very soon. Right, so we're back into being able to buy free chests again. Which one do I want to take? Let's just take the regular one as we're pretty close to it. This has got Dane and Gandalf the White, which is handy, but I think I'm looking more for Saruman items, but an invite for Undying wouldn't go amiss either. Imagine if I picked it straight up off the bat there. Let's do a 5 open, nothing entertaining for now. Sadly. Got to remember that I also have... Oh, this is different. Collect supplies. Interesting. Doesn't give any experience by the looks of it. What about this one? No. Just send anyone. And then a gear trial. Nothing particularly useful, but that's interesting that only gives iron and lumber. I wonder if it's different depending on the faction that you've chosen or your spawn region, because if anyone else gets stone here, that's going to be pretty overpowered, if you ask me. But cool, that's Dane kind of achieved his job there, used up a lot of his stamina. Well, not a lot, 3 marches worth of his stamina, but that'll keep him regenerating for a little while, thankfully. So we can chuck in King of Men and Radagast. I'm actually going to chuck these with full because I'm going to get them sweeping straight away, I think. First thing to do is get the best gear onto Shadow, and then that kind of focus and defense gear onto Sauron. Though actually, would a Lang be better here? Because I don't think we need the focus necessarily. I'm going to take that for troop attack and troop defense for now and run with that, which means Radagast can then use focus-based gear with unit defense, so he can use the Noldor. And then Aragorn, King of Men, is left a little bit stuffed, as breaking down my attack gear means I only really have one high damage piece of gear here, so I could give him the Obsidian Dagger. 15 damage is still the highest damage I have, but it doesn't grant him any bonus attack, which is quite frustrating. The other option, of course, is to go with the whip and just get that refined up now, which is a difficult choice. I'm trying to remember what I ran gear-wise on my Shadow previously. I might have to have a look back, but I think I ran Fortitude and then one other attacking one. I don't think it was Warcry I had on there. Can't remember off the top of my head. It's tricky now. I think I've folded the gear into other pieces of equipment, so it's tricky to work out where it is. Is it in here? So I had Warcry. Maybe it was Might I had with it. Absolutely cannot remember off the top of my head. Let's forget about it. Right. Do I give him might? Yeah, do I give him might or do I give him the whip and use the refines to push the refines up? Oh, it was perseverance. That's what I had on it. That's just triggered in my mind as I see it. So I'm actually going to refine this up and strengthen as much as possible, with the assumption that I will use one of my a couple of my hammers to kind of bring this back as the season progresses to get Shadow ready for the start of the season. So I will be able to fully refine this here. Aeon for some reason is holding one. So at least then I have higher attack gear on King of Men. I don't think I have a huge opportunity for strengthening here. Yeah, I'll put one more strengthen on there. At least it's better than using a base axe. Right, as I said, I'm only going to be using him for sweeping to begin with, so we're not too worried about that. What levels are the skirmishers, for example? So do any of these detail whether they give tips? So that just says mercenaries, grain, all archers, grain have a chance of giving juicy meat. Same with these. So I don't know what level these are, but I'm going to just send at them. Meanwhile, I will get Shadow to take one of these stone tiles. So it's got gear on. Both are skilled. Hopefully they can do a similar result to what Dane and Gandalf the White achieved. So let's see. Meanwhile, we get a little bit more resource here. We're probably going to need to build a few more things. Thankfully, we're out of that stone bottleneck a little anyway. That will help further. We're going to need more storage soon as well. Just keeping half an eye on this to see whether I overflow my storage here. I think I've just about got enough storage left. Yeah. Just trying to get to that level for main hall 4 here. Not quite, but we do get ring level straight away, and we've hit ring level 5. So I've already made a mistake here by sending Shadow out, I think, in which case, because I think this allows us, was it here? No, it's Command Arts 1 is actually ring level 10, so no, not too bad. But we do get Invigoration, which allows us to increase our commander's stamina. We get Clairvoyance, which allows us to see armies on tiles, and Time Control as well. And we're going to use Clairvoyance straight away to get our ring points. Sorry, not Clairvoyance, Invigoration to get our ring points regenerating, so we're not wasting time. And use that on Dane. Pretty decent result, actually, though. I think that is better than what we got out of Gandalf and Dane, so that's a pretty good result there. Get them leveling up early. On the other hand, terrible result. Oh, it's a level 10 mob, that's why. A little bit too high. I was about to say terrible result from Radagast and Aragorn. Maybe I've got the levels a little bit off. So that's, it says above their heads. There we go. Level 6, level 12. Okay, these are level 10. Note for self for future. Didn't spot that there, so not ideal. This is what we do. We like to kill a few of our troops off nice and early to let everyone else have a chance. But in a server this kind of size, I think, I think we're going to struggle to be top here. Oh, I've made a mistake. Oh, there we go. That was actually much lower recuperation time than I thought. I thought that was going to be horrible there. Right, another level 3 stone. Stone is all the production that we want. Meanwhile, these guys can go marching off over here. Who have we got near us then? Who's this? So we got Big Daddy King right next to us. That's not going to be ideal. As again, a pretty decent early farmer. And we have Trident as well. Trident, strong player. And we have Rain, who's an incredible early farmer. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot going on around us, I think. And we've, location-wise, I haven't actually looked. So we're over here in Eastern Wastes. And once again, we get an absolutely horrible spawn. We always seem to spawn on the borders of something. And right here, we've spawned on the borders of Hills of Rune. So more than half of our range we can't march to, which is great to see. We always love having a handicap nice and early on. So we are going to, quite early on, have to move down this way probably. Just going to scout out early on if there's any kind of ruins around here. Hopefully there is, because we're going to need something to help us move on. Though I can't see anything just off the top scan. Just hoping there'd be ruins pretty well placed. Oh, there's one there. Is that in range? Oh, it looks like it. Oh man, our luck sometimes is painful. Doesn't look like there's any ruins kind of on the edge of our border that we can use to expand, but I'm sure we'll see a few as we go around. Shadow's gone again. Not as good a result that time, but not too bad. So let's first up expand our storage because it looks like we need it. It'll be required soon for chapter progression anyway. And let's get these up to level 3. In fact, level 4 because that's needed. I've actually gone to level 5, but these are needed pretty soon for chapter progression anyway, I believe. So let's just fly through these. Claim this. Get another big input of stone and other resources, which should benefit us massively. Cool. Now we can start training tier 2 troops, and if this will move out the way, we're almost to ring level 10 as well, which allow us to take command arts and run 3 armies in our formation very early on. So I'm going to speed straight through this. I'm going to... I need to activate this ring ability. There we go. Speed straight through this. And then I'm going to speed straight through the market. Now we can train tier 2 brutes, which are very, very good starter units. Definitely one of my recommended units. If any of you have seen my first 24-hour guide, I definitely recommend checking that out. If you haven't, it's very, very useful for kind of tips and tricks. But conscription cost, very, very easy. They conscript very, very quick for low resources. So in the kind of early game when you're losing a lot of units, you can replenish them very, very quickly. But on top of that, they have great defense stats. When I say great, but for tier 2 units, strong defensive stats, good HP, attack and damage is kind of meh, but very, very serviceable defensively. But that main thing is that quick, cheap unit. So you can just make sure you've always got available units, which are some of the problems I have sometimes when I use medium units, is if I make one mistake and kill off the majority of my units, it takes hours to get them back. Whereas if I run this setup and use the tier 2 brute, I can get them back significantly easier. So that's that's kind of where we're going with this and why we've chosen that route. Another one of the first things we are going to do, which is going to show us build my keep first, is also chuck some of this grain that's getting very near storage capacity. We are going to chuck some of it into stone very early on. But first off, we are going to level up our market as well, as we only have 100 to 40 here. So we need to level up our market. So we are going to look to do so by recycling as many items as we can. So all of these, not relics. Green and blue. Select all of those, get them recycled, because I will not be using them. And then we have a ton of ingots that we can spend. So I'm going to recommend that you always pick up the gathering yield straight away, as gathering early on is very, very valuable, and getting that increased amount of resource as soon as possible. I wouldn't ever recommend picking up the speed ups because they cost resource, and resources are precious at the beginning. And I also don't really recommend using the Mind Sharpener boost, because Mind Sharpener early on isn't particularly valuable compared to what you can use your ability points for, like gathering, like invigoration for more stamina. So on the limited options here, there's only a couple of things you can buy, and what I usually buy are speed ups, and as many as possible. You see, that's taken me almost to level 13 here. So actually I'm going to buy one of these just to take me over to that level 13. I might even buy a couple of them, or I might just straight up level up with there just to get, but is it worth it? Whereas I can buy 4 of these and it pretty much takes me there anyway for the same amount. So there's no point wasting the silver. I might as well get something for it. But again, it gives me that 50% trading rate. So at least I'm losing significantly less resource. I'm losing 10% less resource now when I do this compared to where I was beforehand. So we're going to chuck that straight in there, and we've got 20k stone right away back in the bank. And our grain is no longer near storage limit, so we can claim these without kind of fear of running out, basically, fear of over storing. And now that does also get us to ring level 10 through chapter progression, so we can now put 3 commanders in our army. So yeah, we are kind of flying through here with ring level 10. So the main thing we're looking for here is this command art. So being able to have 3 commanders, sorry, in your army, huge, big deal here. Massively jumps up the level of tile, as you'll see in a minute. We're pretty close to getting gather as well, so that'll be very, very valuable. So yeah, tactical ruse I think is still requires 1 action point. So this is a completely pointless skill. I wouldn't recommend ever taking it because you're never going to want to spend 1 ring point to swap the armies on a tile, and you can just hit it with a 1 troop army and it should then reset there. If it doesn't reset, then you can wait till the next day and just take the tile the next day. But I wouldn't ever recommend spending one very valuable ring point for that. Other things we've unlocked as we've gone through, we have completed various challenges. I'd always recommend focusing on these, as the resources you can get are extremely valuable at season start. You'll see how much resource we're picking up here just for commander levels. Stone was included in there as well, so at any point you're on like a bit of a stone bottleneck and you're considering chucking it into the market through the barter and potentially strapping yourself of another resource, first thing to look at is there a challenge you can complete that will benefit you in a different way. Now, Shadow has leveled up, so we're going to chuck another point here. Do I put it into Hunting Expert for more attack? Do I get another instance of damage, or do I prioritize this for the increased attack? Oh, excuse me. I think we go there. So, right, now we have 3 commanders in our army. We can change things up a little bit here. So we can choose a 3rd commander to go into here. And we probably want a 3rd or another damage dealer here. Now, ideally, if I had him available, I would put Saruman in here, because he's a very, very strong damage dealer here of many colours and Voice of Saruman, but I don't actually have him Respect 2 yet, enough for me to feel like I can use him. We do have Baorn. We do also have Witch King, which can be very, very strong with Nazgul and the stun that provides as well. We of course have more support here with Serdan, who's someone I use quite a lot. Galadriel is only Respect 1 for me after I stripped all her Respect down. And then, of course, we do have an abundance of tier 2s we could use as well. So a lot of these will end up being used as sweep commanders, I think. But for now, so we'll probably put King of Men in there with him for now, and then that sweep formation will pick up another couple of commanders here. So let's do that. Let's break this formation down. 2 minutes till we get those back. Fine. Now we've got 1 here, 1 here. Let's put King of Men in as well. He'll also have 1 troop. And then a second formation is going to be Radagast here. Now, damage dealers, let's chuck Witch King in. What else we got? Let's chuck Bjorn in. Let's do it that way around. And let's just fill those up like that. Perfect. So we have damage, gear up here. Noldor here. Witch King will need some kind of focus damage gear, so let's give him that while it's not in use. And Baorn will need physical damage, which all my main gear is in use, so we'll chuck this battle axe on him for now. And Witch King will have to skill up as well. We can't quite get to... Yeah, do I do 5 into Lord of Nazgul, or do I go straight for just regular Nazgul? I think we go straight for this first. 9 in there, and then when he gets a couple of levels up, he'll be better. Now, that's our kind of sweep formation anyway, so these level 6 mobs are going to get swept up pretty heavily. We can't take another... I think I put another point into here, actually, get another army, get more sweeping going on. Might be a little bit of a waste of resources, but, I quite like having a lot of sweep armies available. And then we'll get these going as well. So now we need to focus on level 4 and above tiles. We've taken a fair few level 3s, level 4s. So what have we got with here? So it says we've got 900 versus 3000. I wonder if we can take this already. But we are only level 6. Do I take one more level 3 first? I guess the place to go here is to look in Fellowship and see if there's any good reports of level 4 tiles. So Mac Attack is already level 15 here and hitting level 6 land, which is pretty nuts. People kind of joining in as they go. Let's just see. Oh, that's a good reminder from Rain there to everyone to donate. So let's get that straight in. I'd always recommend donating. I know like it seems like a waste of 2,000 grain, but you also do get a lot of that back through various challenges and things like that, which can always be beneficial to you. And the benefits you get to your Fellowship by getting the store earlier and getting other benefits far outweighs the 2,000 grain that you lose. Level 5 from Kaz here. So he was doing it with level 8s and nearly took it. That's a level 5 tile. Let's go one more level 3. I've broken. I don't want to waste two. It's not worth wasting that many troops for another stone one. It's going to take this too easily, though. That's my worry. It's going to take it really easily. Nope, we are going to waste the troops. If needs be, I can always march back Radagast over here, or I can just create another formation and send that one in to top it off. Let's see how it goes. This is probably going to be a disaster. Darwin suggests with level 6s that this is going to be a disaster. Looked at these a little bit too late, to be honest, but thank you, Tharwin, for sending those over. Very, very useful. Let's see how this gets on. It's probably going to be abysmal here, but we will find out. See the value of sweeping, by the way, with Aragorn, King of Men, being higher level than my other commanders with less stamina used. Right, let's see how this goes. So we got a draw. So it looks like we will take this tile. Unfortunately, the remaining XP is not going to be given to most of these because they have no HP, but they should hopefully recover in time. Let me just double check they haven't changed the commands. No, they haven't. So it's a 5-minute for a draw. How long does it take to occupy with an army in our keep? I mean, I could just send a sweep formation over to finish this off just to be sure. So Serdan definitely can be one hitter. What have I got damage-wise? Have I missed Lothar? There we go. Lothar I want in as well. And then it's whether do I go Lurtz, Dwalin, Gimli, Carmul, Eomer. There's a fair few I could go with here. I think I'll go Lurtz. And I could just chuck that in like that and this be another sweep formation. Radagast has leveled up. Do I put some points into the healer? Especially if we're going to be drawing. If we're going to be drawing over a long period, I think the healer might actually be better here. Yeah, let's do that. Now, Serdan, as he's going to be the one with all the troops, I'm not bothered about 2 to 3 formations. I'm bothered about the commander alone's formation unit. So we're going to buff that up as high as we possibly can. And again, we're looking for maximum focus. So 17 focus available from this, 24 from this, but no damage or defense. I could use command and unit defense to make him more tanky, but then he doesn't get much focus for his healing. But then command itself ups his healing. Maybe that's the one we go for here, rather than 18 more focus but no unit defense. Maybe we go with a Cutlass instead. I think we will. And Lurtz damage-wise as well. Which one do we want to go for? So this skill focuses round 1 primarily, so I think that's the one we want to go for here. But then do we want this to go to 3 so we get an additional damage instance? I think we'll survive as we are for now. But I am actually just going to send them straight out to What did I do there? Oh, they haven't got equipment on. It shouldn't matter because the tile is almost dead anyway. Football starts smashing through level 5 tiles. Not unexpectedly. Right, level 6 sweeps. Where are we? Another one over. That's level 15. Whew. Level 6 right there. So are these just marching now because I clicked that, or are they actually... Oh, I haven't got skills on either. Oh, quick. Weapon Masters, why I choose LOTR. He's got very, very good damage early on, though I haven't given him any equipment, but it shouldn't matter, and it doesn't matter. And shouldn't really have lost anything, which they haven't. Cool. Right, there's some kind of event going on as well for Guay here, so let's see if there's any useful rewards for season start available on here. Sometimes the events going on can give you speed ups and things like that, which can be valuable early season. So let's just take a look at this, see what the event's all about. Twin leaves, find the paired items. So let's just try out this first, see what this is like. So remember the locations of paired items and find all matching pairs and try and get the best score. Okay, so let's try this out, see what the rewards are like, if there's anything good. Okay, so the first level is very, very simple. So you just have to know that that one pairs with that one, that pairs with that one, and that one pairs with that one. And assumably, they're more kind of random as you go along. Oh, there's more than one level. Okay, that's interesting. So, oh, there's 4 rounds. I see at the top now. So there's 4 rounds, and you have to memorize what the patterns are as you go along. Oh, and it increases to 4 as well. That's interesting. Okay. Take a little bit more difficult to remember this one, I think. But still not too hard. Right, that's an easy one again. They've made it too patterny. Too much like patterns, which makes it more doable. So what rewards do we get? So you do get gems in there as well. Obviously, gems very, very useful, particularly if you're free to play. Otherwise, doesn't look like you get anything particularly useful for season start, but still, gems not too bad at all. The power of memory, again, this looks like gems, but you have to remember the specific location of an item. So we're looking for the ring. Okay, so there's more than one of each one available as well. So we have this ring. So we know it's in here, here, and here. Cool, and it looks like, again, there's 4 rounds of this where you need to memorize where the ring is. Here, here, and here. And again, looks like the rewards are gems, along with some kind of Easter egg type item. I'll take a look and see what you can trade those in for once we've completed this game. But to be fair, as events go, this is a lot more original than some of the other events they've gone, and I definitely prefer this to doing a kind of memory game like this or something fun. Oh, and it moves as well. That's interesting. I definitely prefer to do something like this versus like the cooking game, for example, which I thought was extremely boring. So yeah, we get these Easter egg things. I'm interested to see what the painted eggs do. And then we have pass points as well. So let's end that and see where that's taken us on this event. So that's the memory challenge. And then you have some kind of gift here as well, coming from the Madam Peddler. Do we get one of these a day? Oh no, this is the scoreboard. So assumably, as we complete those games, we get pass points, which takes us further and further along this. And there is both a free and a paid version of this pass. The unlock for this looks to be, oh wow, $29.99. You can go 5 levels further along the pass. For $19.99, you get 80 Supreme Respect vouchers, 5 Madams, 25 Flawless Respect vouchers, Elven Craftsman Hammer, 40 Exquisite Respect vouchers, 200 gold ingots, 2 pieces of gold gear, and 2 pieces of purple gear. Whereas it looks like for this, you get all these same rewards, plus you basically get a bit of additional skip along with an avatar and a profile background for an additional £10. So personally, avatar and skipping along don't really matter to me at all. So if you're looking to pick up the gear, 19.99 here, and you can get 2 pieces of gold gear as long as you engage with the event. I don't think that's the worst deal as far as this game goes. So if you are looking to invest in this game, you could pick that up and look to take along. As for the actual pass itself, so it looks like early on, mainly for free to play. So for example, I was saying about things that can be beneficial early game. These universal speed ups will be pretty useful as we skip things along. Same here. Same with the stamina tincture. So that's actually where within the first day or so, if you time your 5 pass skip, if you do take that $29.99 option, you could get yourself an additional stamina tincture. So that could be very, very valuable, and I would almost bet that a lot of people will be doing that to get early season advantage in this server, given the level of the server. But so gold gear looks it comes at level 20 and also level 10, so you can get that pretty early on. Again, particularly if you get the 5 pass skip. But the free-to-play option doesn't have a huge amount of great things. I'm just checking. The Elite Pass doesn't have another stamina tincture locked in with it, so that's very good. I am half tempted to pick this up just for the sake that I get an additional Elven Hammer, which could help me put my gear back before we get to PvP, but I'll consider that in the future. Right, what's next? So we have above this basket of eggs, there is like a trophy symbol. So there's some kind of contest here. Let's see what this means. So this is how many eggs you pick up during the event. So the event's already started. A lot of people have quite a lot of eggs, but you can see here the kind of who sits where on the egg count. And if you're in the top 10, you get this speech bubble for 30 days, and you get it for 7 days if you're in the top, or if you have 15 eggs. Not massively engaging reward, if I'm being honest. I'd be a little bit disappointed if I processed this much time in the game and only got a temporary speech bubble, but we'll see. Now, what's this speech between Mary and Guahir? It's taken us directly to the details for the event and how to participate, which we've already kind of looked at. And then last but not least, we have Guahir here, which is going to summarise the fact there is a newer commander available in this event. So, the availability of Guahir, who primarily buffs large units, as we looked at a little bit earlier on, is a pretty cool cinematic here, but that's very, very useful. And I think this seems to be focused around trying to buff large unit viability a little bit. So there is the new commander Guahir available, and that seems to be the extent of everything available on this event. Now we do need to heal and reinforce our army. Let's go 1, 1, and max again. And of course, as they level up, we will be able to take on these level 4s on their own. So that's 1 taken down already. Iron is probably the most valuable thing to us here. Is there a closer one? Probably this one. Awesome. And then we've got Sweep Army wandering around here. It doesn't look like it looked like they lost units, but actually just realised that's just because they're levelling up, I believe. Not many of these level 6 sweeps around. There we go. Over you go. And near where we're sending Shadow, is there another level 6 one over here? Yeah, there is. Let's send... Just double check it's level 6. Yes, it is. Send our... Oh, we still haven't equipped LOTR and Lurtz. So, again, we're just going to give them damage-based gear with these battle axes here. They're not I haven't got the best gear in the world, but still serviceable. And I'll march them over here so they're near that tile if we need them to take it and free up our Shadow. So yeah, going pretty well-ish so far, just kind of slowly ticking along. Well, we had 2,000 at the minute. That sits us unranked actually at the minute. You can see a lot of people moving, but only just off the unranked board. Sitting at the top at the minute. I should probably talk through fellowships actually before I talk through players. So we've got quite a few very big, strong fellowships in here. We have Panda, who a lot of people will have come across, a very, very big, strong team. I think they're relatively neutral in their server. I know that we in Home and Mind have never played with or against them, and I don't think we know a lot of players who play for them, but we just know of them by reputation. Very strong team. We have Kaib, which is a team I've not actually personally come across, but as their second, I'm sure they're a very big, strong team as well. Again, another completely fresh team for Home and Mind, which is always great to see. I like getting new teams involved. Sorry, not new teams in the sense that they're a new team, but getting involved with teams you've never met before. That's always great, and gets a bit of freshness in the game because you can. There's always a risk that you get caught in that cyclical back end cycle of playing with the same teams over and over again. Third, we have Small, which anyone who's watched my content previously, particularly a couple of seasons ago, will know we have a little bit of history with Small, where server and relations didn't really go particularly well. I don't think, and neither team won. But yeah, so they're in this server, and I think primarily this is in order to kind of target us and come, let's say target us. You know what I mean? Kind of with a bit of a grudge, probably. So let's see how this server goes. Hopefully, it stays pretty well natured. Last season's server with Fire, for example, actually did stay for the most part very well natured, and I can give a bit of credit to that team because I think you should be able to have hard fought fights and battles without things getting sour and manipulative. So hopefully the same can happen here. Of course, then you have Home here as well, and then we have Puro in 5, which I believe a lot of this is ex Aces players. I'm not sure, but if we look, you see they've got a good ring record, but can't see any links to X medals, for example, so I don't know who exactly is in that team. But again, another fresh team to Home and Mine. There is Bane here, who are in 6th place, and we haven't played with Bane before, but I'm pretty sure a fair few of these players actually joined in my Season 1 event server, at least for a short amount of time. So half kind of familiar without being kind of friendly and had a lot of discussion, but Mine here are then in 7th with Chris's team. You see, teams are slowly filling up. A lot of these are only half full due to the nature of the 8 UTC start. A lot of American teams, players in particular, can't join straight away. But yeah, Mine, of course, are our partners. And then we have Dragon here in 8th, which are the Panda Dragons. So they're partnered with Panda, who are at the top. And you can see then there's Solo here as well, who are in 9th. And you can see just from power levels how close this is. There's 9th is at basically 100k and top is at 135k. That is not a great amount of difference. So there is a huge number of players here, good strong number of teams here. So this should pan out to be a very, very, very good server. How many players do we actually have in? We have 54. What have some of the others got? We've got 59. 67 for Kaib, so that's pushed them up a little bit. 54 similarly for Small, which is same number of players, pretty much same powers, pretty nuts. 51 for Puro, and again, if they had those 2 or 3 players, they'd probably be right there as well. Just very, very close, particularly at the beginning. Of course, it's always going to be. Now looking at early affluence here. So the top is Benjidu in Small here, who's at number 1 with 4k of power already. There's Van in Mine in 3rd, Panda Kwaidu in 2nd, Cap of Mine as well is also in 4th. And you see just again that Cast's a team that we didn't even mention, and they've got a player in 7th. You just see the spread between teams here that are active across all of this top leaderboard. So it's pretty nuts. You can see how active this server is. Should be an absolute cracker. Now, what have we got here? So we had another draw here, which will be taken. Always a risk, though, when you're not paying attention, that your commanders could fail to take it. But it looks like the enemy tiles, 2 commanders are dead, and we were able to take it with ours. So let's just put final points in here, which should increase the damage they deal when that draw expires. And we have DM as well, a few more tiles. Level 6s as well, done at level 12. That's good to see. So thank you there, Tharwin. And there we go, took that one. We're losing kind of 100 of those tier 1s when we do this, but I think it's kind of worth it for the XP, and whilst we're getting tier 2s into the conscription. It's interesting. Looks like they've changed up the sidebar menu, so there's a few more options here, kind of reminding you of your your to-do list, so to say. Level 15, level 15. Nope, almost got caught by that then. 15 there as well. 20, wow. It's pretty nuts. Level 6, there we go. Head over there. I'm surprised we haven't picked up, as far as I'm aware anyway, any tavern tips yet from these. Normally you'd hope that all these sweeps would give you some kind of resource benefit here, but nothing as of yet, unfortunately. Right, let's heal the commanders, of course, that took damage there. Ooh, and drop the troops right down. 3 minutes till we get those back. We don't mind that. There was a time where it was absolutely brutal, that the speed of those coming back. Thankfully, they decided to change that somewhat, so there's less punishment now for those season start, because it was frankly ridiculous, to be honest. But taking one more level forward them, and then I think we could look towards moving on. Now we do need another construction queue here, so I'm going to very quickly just flick off this for now, just while I pick up the season pass and any required well, not necessarily required, but any of the bundles that we feel are needed in order to kind of get as high as possible in the leaderboard. So just for transparency, I'm picking up the season pass, and I'll be picking up the resource boost for 8 hours, and I'll be picking up the stamina potions as well. So those three in particular. I'm not particularly looking towards anything else for now, as they're not necessarily required, shall we say, or necessary in order to do well at the start of the season. So not too bothered by most of those, but the stamina tinctures kind of are pretty key for getting the highest kind of production you can possibly manage early on, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware. So yeah, definitely picking those up. There we go. And whether I pick up some kind of, I think I might in fact pick up the monthly and weekly bundles as well, get a few gems in, and then we can look towards the daily discount as well, and what items in there I feel are also fairly essential. So once those are picked up, that should give us an inflow of gems that we can then use for that exact purpose. So let's get the screen back again, and we should be all good to go. Purchase successful. There we go. Gems in. Claim our free Matham. Not free. We claim the Matham. So now daily discount, we have a fair few options. Battle readiness is going to be the first I pick up. Again, 4 of those gathering boosts. Very, very useful. It's not very useful having the mind sharpener ones, but the gathering boost will be very useful. And then I'm also going to pick up these resource boosts as well, which again should be very, very valuable to us. Now Shadow is drawn once again. They haven't all died this time, but they're getting pretty close to it. But again, that's another level up in the bag, and that draw will just straight up expire. I don't know if there's some kind of issue with the stream here that's not showing up. Let's see. Hopefully maybe it's now public. Hopefully it was before. So there we go, picking up the season pass there. That's a fair few items. Looks like the commanders for manuscripts this time are Gandalf the Grey and Lurtz. It's nice to see them swap. Some gems in as well. Apologies, anyone who hasn't been able to get onto the stream. It seems like there's some kind of issue with it, which I wasn't aware of. Just let everyone know. Yeah, apologies to anyone who's missed the stream. It's the recording of the right at the beginning should be available on my channel at the end. Obviously, kind of the first hour appears to have not streamed properly. Looks like YouTube decided to delist it temporarily. So thank you everyone who's jumped in at this point. Chris, Trent, Rain, Zorro, everyone, thank you all for jumping straight in. Good to see you, Captain. Guess it's probably best to give kind of a run through of where we're at. We've just kind of started hitting. We've been hitting mobs with a couple of kind of secondary teams here, and our main team's hitting level 4 tiles with the kind of one troop method. Hello, Diego Santos as well. Thank you everyone for jumping in. Again, apologies for that dropping out. Now we're about to hit level 10 with our commanders, it seems. One more of these should get them over the line. So we're going to look towards upgrading storage as well to level 4. Just get that one done, ready and waiting. What do we got for level 6 mobs floating around? All of these level 15s. Soon they'll be able to take probably level 10s pretty comfortably, but for now I want to stick to the level 6s. Let's just use the search. There we go. Send them over. Similar over here. They level 8 and 7, so pretty much getting close to being able to do the level 10 mobs, but for now I'll stick with the 6s. I want to know what tips they offer, but I don't think we haven't picked one up. So what tips do they offer? 5,000 stone. There we go. So the level 6 mercenary mobs in the Darklands are offering 5,000 stone. So I'm going to be sweeping those level 6 mobs exclusively because the stone is going to be completely invaluable as we progress early on. So yeah, definitely will be prioritizing level 6s and not moving on to the 10s, even though there's obviously the slight risk to experience through doing that. I'll probably, any of these here, I think probably these 3 I'll drop out and replace with tier 2s just because I want to save their stamina in case I need them. Same with a few of my other main commanders. Port Tharwin here, level 15s and a 9 taking on level 6 with next to no loss. It's pretty impressive. So level 15 at level 15s did a 6 tile. In fact, level 12s on a 6 tile. That's level 4. So let's see level 5s what we need to do, but we're only just taking level 4s without losing here, so we're kind of in the right kind of ballpark. I reckon probably one more so that we get to level 10. We'll get that second gear slot, which will increase all our commanders' stats pretty heavily. Then we'll look towards moving on to a level 5. So I reckon there's probably one more level 4 required before we look to do that, I think. Welcome, Sean O'Grady. Thank you for tuning in. Now, the only risk here is because we keep using reinforcement here to heal our commanders, then dropping the troops off, as we don't want to end up with an enormous backlog of recuperation here. But I think because we keep drawing, they're all recuperated by the time that draw ends, so we're kind of not a huge amount of risk at the minute. But just one thing to keep an eye on as we go forwards. What we at stamina wise with Radagast? Still got 200 plus stamina, so I'll probably go down to 200 with this formation, then send them home. With our kind of first team, as we would call it, or at least Dane and Gandalf the White were at 260 and 280, so plenty left on them. Acutely aware that we're using a lot of stamina here on Sauron, so I might actually pull him back in a minute, and Sauron and Shadow keep hold of them for a little bit and use King of Men, Radagast, and maybe one of these instead. We'll have a look in a second. So we've done all our donates. We're about to get the store, which would be very, very useful here. And the more helps you can get as well, the more kind of speed ups you save. Excuse me. So when this hits, we should complete the chapter progression as well, which would be very useful. Another stamina tincture there, available from the season pass. And there we go. Next chapter progression completed. Into chapter 9. What ring level are we now? So we're still level 10 for now. But we might be able to progress straight through these chapters. So we need to occupy 5 land of 4 or above. Now, I think I'm actually going to drop Shadow and Sauron from this formation to avoid wasting too much of their stamina and chuck them back in at a later time. So I think I'll use Radagast instead of Sauron, and then probably Beorn instead of Shadow, and go with that until we have available kind of our main quote-unquote formation. Then we'll get a different sweep team going around as well. So we're sweeping a lot with these because we want to kind of get them leveled up as well. We want other teams that can take tiles for if we need a good boost in production as we go along. Welcome Noah B. Good morning to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Lots of helps available here. Good to get those coins in early as well. So as soon as we get the shop, we'll be able to push on and buy a few useful things as well, such as the resource boosts, which will come in handy. Now, sweeping mobs, again, the reason we're doing this so heavily is we're getting these resource boosts that are extremely useful. 4k stone there, absolutely huge. Now, we might actually have to move on. Now I've just seen this, move on to level 10 mobs. Now I've seen that actually the resource boosts are required at level 10 mobs, so we might have to move on to those with one of our formations. Now, this is annoying me taking so long, so we're going to speed that up. We're going to put more troops again into recuperation, annoyingly. But we can then swap Sauron out and Shadow. Go like this. And then that should continue to be pretty strong, I think. Oh, I do need to heal Aragorn lower. That can be our tile-taking formation for now. And then we'll get another sweep formation going as well. So you can see the stamina of our kind of main 4 along here. So Witch King can, again, stay part of our sweep formation. We need another damage dealer here. So we could take Éomer, could take Gimli. Probably is the best choice here. It's probably Éomer or Gimli. I'm going to go with Gimli here. And then we need someone to be the kind of tank for this. So again, could take Thranduil. Could take a Isildur, though I've had middling results with him in the past as the tank. Same with Frodo. And then, of course, we have Gandalf the Grey as well, who can use White Council. And in the chat, what do we think? What do we think we should use for the tank here? We've got a few options. Good few options here with Isildur. I'm leaning towards Isildur, but there's Isildur, Boromir. Ooh. Maybe Thranduil or Elrond as well. Gandalf the Grey. You reckon Gandalf the Grey, Captinian, could stick that in here? Trying to think if there's anyone else decent. I'm leaning towards Isildur as my only issue. But the people have spoken. We're going Gandalf the Grey. There we go, chuck that in like that. I will have to put some skill points onto him and some gear, of course. We'll go with the heal as well, just to make him maximum kind of tank. Now, we don't have damage on here. This is obviously a classic Carver, but it does offer more focus than the kind of new Carver. So I could go with that for the 25 more focus. or I could go with a cutlass for more command and unit defense as the tank, which I think is what I'm actually going to go for to begin with. Could be a wild decision, but could also be a good decision, who knows. Now, Gimli skill order. So normally you take Durin's Blood first, followed by Experienced Warrior, followed by Lord of Glittering Caves. So I'm going to put 1 point in here, actually. I'm going to put 5 in here to get that attack boost available at the level 5, along with the damage with a 1 round cooldown, so that damage comes in sooner. Then I'm going to put the rest into Lord of Glittering Caves. Again, I want damage in the early rounds. What's that? 22% by 2, 100% by 2. There's a lot less damage than here. 100% damage once to 2 enemy formations. 22% physical damage once to 2 enemy formations. That's much worse. Take that back. I'm going to put everything in here and the remainder in Durin's Blood. So I will have to reskill him if I want to use him again in future. But not the end of the world if we do. As far as damage gears go, I think we're pretty out. Although actually we do need to re-gear pretty much everybody, don't we? Who have we... So let's just get all this off because it's cluttering up my UI. Do you need to gear up the kind of new main tile taking team with the right gear? It's just cluttering up my UI when I click on here, and all I can see is weapons equipped to random characters that I don't use. So, King of Men is now going to get maximum damage with the axe, and then he's going to need a helm that synergizes with that. And of course, I do have Warcry helm there as well, so that'll help. Radagast is fine. And who did I put in with? I can't remember what my own formation now. Radagast, Beorn, King of Men. So Beorn again needs kind of the second set of damage. Fairly low damage, unfortunately, until I use my hammer to fix all my gear up again. But yeah, for now I'll get that together. Now, sweep teams kind of equipped. Could even swap that for the Lang. Army is not inside a structure. But come back. There you go. You're going to have the Lang for better kind of defense. It does leave not a lot going for Gandalf the Grey. What's Gimli? There we go. Gimli's got damage gear freed up. So that should be 9 commanders geared up, ready to go. Okay. So has King of Men healed up yet? Because he's been sat there inside the keep for ages and he's still not a full HP. It's taking a little while. And as he's the main damage dealer when we take these tiles, it's a little frustrating. But anyway, let's get the mob sweepers going. With the mob armies, we want them actually at full troop capacity. So the low levels are going to go after level 6 mobs, and the slightly higher level one's going to go after level 10 mobs and get those challenges done for that experience. And then we'll take a level 4 tile and see if we can do it with this kind of second created army we've got of Beorn, King of Men, Radagast, and see how they get on versus the Shadow, King of Men, Sauron army we had before. Jerry Rodriguez, worst thing to happen early season to spawn next to you. Apologies. Well, I've got Big Daddy King next to me here. I don't think there's anyone to my southeast, but I do have Trident and Rain right here already. So, and this player here is Agosha is very, very active by the looks of it as well. There's a few kind of active players right next to us. Lex, whoever that is, and half our range is ruined by being right up against this border. High Evolution from Step. Good to see you. Did Step? I assume Step dropped out of this server in the end because I know you were registered at one point, but I can't see you in the list. So I'm assuming that that you guys decided to drop out. So there was a draw here from. This is actually, ironically, we've swapped these commanders out, lower levels, and using Radagast. This is actually. What my dog do on then? This is actually better results than we were getting. Better results than we were getting with that kind of Sauron team. So the healing of Radagast, keeping those troops alive, is actually very, very beneficial, as you can see. Step dropped out. Panda was bullying you. But yeah, that's a shame. As Step's obviously a team we've played with before, at least quite a while ago. So I don't know if the core players are still the same, but. Yeah, obviously very friendly team. Another big team in here would have been great. There seems like there's quite a few already, though. Tharwin's region. He's got Van right next to him, taking up all the tiles. And you're right on the border of Darklands. At least your entire range, though, is tiles, whereas half of my range is Hills of Rune, which I can't get through the pass to farm. So I'm going to have to move out very, very quickly and start taking other people's areas, which will inevitably come with complaints. I'm not trying to ping that. I'm trying to click the help button. There we go. But nice. So we got a few more levels up here as well. We get that stun from Nazgul now on Witch King, which is useful as well. And a bit more bleed damage from Bjorn. Only respect 4, so not many skill points on him, but still does a pretty decent job in my mind. So that's level 12. That's level 10 over there. Let's go. So actually these guys there'll be a point where they kind of catch up in levels, I think, with a lot of these kind of main teams. Because if you look, they're 40 stamina lower, but they're only a little bit, they're not actually XP wise that far off. And Sweeping uses so much less stamina that they could end up a pretty strong level. Right, we've actually got a ton of resources here, and we haven't really built anything in a while. So let's get both of these going. We didn't actually use speed ups on these because I realised we'd have plenty of kind of time to get this going as time went on. And we do actually have another conscription queue, which we haven't been using. So I'm going to max those back out as we want as many tier 2s as possible. The problem with new season starts compared to what they used to be is we're never going to be able to get to ring level 20 in the first 24 hours. So we're never going to get Command Arts 2 for 4 armies. So if people want to make use of the first 24-hour buff for taking a large tile, you're no longer really not as much able to, because it's a lot more difficult with only 3 armies. I'm not saying it's not doable, because they have made tiles a bit easier. But yeah, it's a lot more difficult than it used to be. Where's everyone? So C season was up to level 20 already. Wow, taking level 7 tiles already. Same with Enzite, who's taking it very, very well, with lovely Dane here smashing through it, as well as Scowhelm as well. No wonder able to take those tiles so easily. Now the only problem I've got here is I actually don't have the same amount of time that I usually have. I'll probably be streaming until about midday my time, which is another hour or two, because it is a bank holiday in the UK, which basically means that most businesses, other than those that are essential and retail, are closed. So I have the day off, and so I do plan on spending some of that time with my partner. But I'll stream for as long as I can. But obviously doing this kind of really efficient method of farming I'm doing now means there's going to be a lot of stamina available at the back end, which I would normally use. Would be I need the time to be able to use it, basically. So if we're being too efficient, I'm basically going to push that stamina into a time where I'm not available to play the game. So I need to be very, very careful here with how I do this, and not kind of shoot myself in the foot, so to speak. Right, looks like these are doing pretty well here. Nice increase on defense for everybody in that formation will be very valuable. good boosts of damage here coming to Lurtz, particularly with that additional damage instance there. And of course, this increases healing and gives bonus defense for allied units, so very, very useful. And Radagast has taken that level 4 tile as well, completing this chapter. Ooh, big chunk of resource. Getting close to storage again that we might need to keep an eye on. Oh, there you go. Required for the chapter progression anyway, so that's solved. And I think we need to go to 4 with this, I believe. And we need to get 1 commander to level 13. So it's looking likely at the minute that's probably going to be Aragorn, King of Men. In the meantime, let's heal all these up. I think we will try... do we try a level 5 tile, or is that a bit ropey with Radagast only level 9? Maybe we do 1 more level 4, which will level Radagast up, level Bayon up. Radagast will get another equipment in his slot, and we can then push on to... Once Radagast gets that extra bit of focus or command, maybe even unit defense, depending on what I decide. I did not mean to send Serdan there. That's a waste of 20 stamina. Will he be able to take it, is the question. This could be a massive waste of troops here, but now I've wasted the stamina. Just going to kind of send it. That's very frustrating. Praying that Serdan can take it without too much loss. Let's see. Meanwhile, we've got a bunch of challenges, pushing a bit of resource in. But why do we always seem to have these kind of little stupid mistakes that kill off a huge number of our troops and absolutely screw us early on? Get a level 8 already. Yeah, I can't send level 8 tiles yet, sadly. Going nice and slow. How did Serdan do? He did pretty well, to be fair, so we didn't lose a massive number of troops. We'll manage with that. We will need to heal them up, though. Right, the less said about that, the better. Where's a level 4 tile? I think I'm going blind that I can't spot one. Oh my god. Definitely. Let's get him to draw there. At least that got a decent amount of XP in for Serdan Lurtz and all that, so it's not the worst decision. Bit of extra production as well. We're nowhere near tile limit, so why not? We're still on the unranked board because we're not progressing at all quickly. With tiles, at least. We're building things, but we're not progressing with tiles. Of course, affluence now includes progression along your builds as well. So that has us a little bit far down. But we do have plenty of resource as well, so that will suddenly spike when we look to push on. When we need to, anyway. Tharwin trying to one troop a level 6 just about failed. Unlucky Tharwin. I think you needed to get Gandalf the White up to probably 10 to get that additional equipment slot there before you attempted that. But there we go. We took that level 4 with not a great amount of loss. So I think we're more than ready to push onwards. Helm-wise, we haven't actually got a great number of choices here. This one offers command, unit attack. It's not great. My helm selection has been abysmal. I've been tempted to increase the Swan helm for additional focus and unit defense for my Gandalf the White, but the lack of command on it has me a little bit worried. But I'm still tempted to go for it. But for now, we'll put this one on. Or do we go with the Horseman's helm? I think we might actually go Horseman's helm here for command and unit defense, higher amounts. I mean, ideally, we'd have something with focus and unit defense as well. But it doesn't. I don't think there is an item that does that. So we'll go with the Horseman's helm for now. Get a bit more unit defense in. A bit more healing with the level up as well. Bayon's not quite there, but we're still going to use that for a level 5. Right, we should probably not be sat on Rain's doorstep. Apologies, Rain. I don't want mobs that are... Oh, we're going to Trident's doorstep now. Let's just do a nice little visit of all of our nearby neighbours. Right, level 5 tile. Let's get everyone healed up. We are running a little bit low on those healing tinctures as well, so we've got to be a little bit careful. And we're putting a lot of troops in recuperation mode. And I've also changed this to no longer show level 5s. So let's bring that back. Right, level 5, 1 troop. Let's see how this goes. Meanwhile, we'll fully reinforce the Serdan sweep army, and I'll just hold a second in case he's needed to finish that tile off. T-Max on 7s already, nice. Yeah, you tend to see early acceleration from those who use their main team straight up, and then kind of towards the end of 24 hours, those who save a little bit of their stamina, you know, trying to use them to take higher level tiles, will tend to accelerate a little bit later on throughout the day. So we've got to keep an eye on Dane Ironfoot here, as he is getting a little bit close to full stamina. Hopefully we can get towards like level 6 tiles and get him included in one of those. That would be the idea, was chucking him in on one of those. Being a little bit wasteful maybe with King of Men's stamina. I think that's kind of whose stamina we're being more wasteful with, who can be quite a useful commander for early game. But yeah, not too bad. Actually, this is a surprisingly good result here on this level 5 tile. It might even be best if we start to use clairvoyance potentially to scout what I would consider an easy army, which is something like this. Pretty simple. I maybe wouldn't like Agzok as much, but like we can scout for while we're using low level armies, scout those which are easy, and then we can come back and pick them up once we're a little bit stronger and more capable of taking the tile. Just so we don't kind of waste troops, you know, unnecessarily. Like Faramir, for example, was horrible to hit. Dwalin and Haldir, similarly horrible to hit. Hergon, Haldir, pretty horrible as well. Hergon is surprisingly difficult on an early tile compared to some of the other commanders you can get. That one we hit with Grima, Sharku is pretty nice. Agzok's not ideal, but Grima and Sharku, this is the one tile you just would not want to hit. Because, yeah, 3 pretty high damage dealing commanders. A couple of lumber tiles here. I don't think I've actually taken a single wood tile so far. I do also need to put together a team to take a level 1 and a level 2 tile, because there's bonuses available when you first take tiles, and I haven't taken a level 1 or a level 2 tile yet, so I haven't made the most kind of that bonus yet, so I need to keep an eye on that. We're getting a lot of good side armies here, which is pretty disappointing. That's a pretty decent one there. Fortitude. Yeah, see, that one's decent. So that one's like one of the level 5s we could look to target next. Waiting out this draw here. I could push it over the line by just making like a formation of very weak commanders here and push it over the line with that, which I might actually choose to do. Because yeah, they're almost dead. So I could just... Oh no, my others are already out in the field. Forgot about that, so probably not. Right, let's get Serdan back, completing those mob sweeping challenges, which should help us out. And then it's kind of waiting for things to progress. So until then, we will level up a few more things in our keep. Hope we got enough for the next main hall. We're pretty close. Could look to use the market just to get that one going. I think we will do that. Obviously, we've got plenty of speed ups where we pumped all of our ingots into the market so that we get that kind of highest possible exchange without wasting ingots. So we'll do that. And we'll look to build a main hall here as well. It's just like things like this stone production is something that's really valuable, that makes me really want to just push all my resource into stone, get everything built as quickly as possible, but I don't want to end up in a deficit as far as chapter progression goes. Kaz taking level 7 tiles already. That's pretty nice. Moving along quickly. Still not got the store yet. Everyone should be donating. Hi Kaz, how you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Emily, we need additional fellowship objective, please. Level 12 here, level 10 here. So that should see soon a challenge completion, if not done already. There we go, yeah, hitting. Oh no, command's at level 10. That's done that one, and then there's Warband contribution. Have we not done the mob one yet? Of hitting level 10 mobs? Potentially not. Oh no, we need 2 more. And then we get some wood and some ore. Not the best resources for us to take, but still pretty decent. There we go, level 5 tile taken for the first time, giving us another little boost of resources there. We're still using the tier 1 troops, and we haven't, touch wood, made as big of a let's call it a cock up as we normally do. Do you get 100% of resources back now when you do this? You do. Okay, cool. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to conscript 100 scouts. Reason being is I want to use them as a... In fact, I can probably do that even more efficiently. I can probably actually just go like... do like 6. And then I'll do 100 once those 6 are in. So I want to use those as my 1 troop because the medium units get a get the counter bonus against smaller units on some of these other tiles that I'm pinging. And yeah, so once I've got those, I can use the counter bonus to do more damage with my commanders and therefore take these tiles a little bit easier than I was previously. So that's why I want those in as soon as realistically possible. Now let's march. Let's just check him on a level 12. It says they're going to be difficult, so let's just see. That might be another troop waste after I've just said not had a massive troop waste yet. Level 6 mobs, where are you? There we go. Have we had any more tavern tips yet? We have 5,000 more stone in the bag, which is why we're doing this. Smack the trolls, definitely not. I am staying as far away, Cat, from the trolls as I possibly can. You're welcome to have as many of the troll tiles as possible. I think that's all I left you last season when I spawned next to you, so you're welcome to have them again. Yeah, not too much loss there. This Serdan sweep army is actually catching up to be potentially our highest level army just through these sweeps. So I could look to use the tiles a little bit later on. I might even be careful with their stamina. When I get it down to like 100 maybe, I might be more careful. Or maybe I'll just use it all up and then save for when I'm more available later on. Nice, we get 4k stone after 4 more level 10 mobs. So that's definitely something we want to look to do. I'm interested to see if we get any tips from these level 10 or 12 mobs. I want to know if they're valuable. Meanwhile, BDK is smashing through the level 5s near us. So we're going to have to shape up a little bit and speed up because we are going too slowly, I think, for the rate he's moving at. Right, we identified this as one we wanted to hit, so let's go. Although we haven't put a helm on Bjorn, I'm glad that reminded us. I really need to strip all this gear down. This is horrible. So we get perseverance with that. I really need to get Shadow's gear back. Strip down this helm, which has most of the materials in it, as well as probably this one as well for some more refines. But in fact, if I'm going to do that at some point, and I know I'm going to do that, I might as well strengthen this one for now. Get the additional attack bonus in. Now, I'm undecided if I want to use the Swan Helm on Gandalf the White, but I don't think I am going to do that, so let's get a bit more attack in early season. I'll make that decision before next season. Right, now with counter bonus in tow, we should be able to take this pretty simply, and we'll look to move on maybe to level 6s as well. Right, so Serdan's army is back, and they also have an opportunity for taking second pieces of gear, so we're going to definitely look to do that. Annoyingly, actually, I want one of the... actually, no, we'll leave it like that. I don't think I have a helm that can give might, so Lurtz is going to have to be left without, but LOTR still will have this. I probably should take it off Gimli, really. In fact, I will do that. Just because that extra attack on Lurtz will be pretty useful. So I can swap these two over like that, and then I get the sharp blade buff on Lurtz, whilst Gimli is still left with a, well-refined axe for his low level sweeping. Right, let's go with that again then. 15, 15, 15, 15. That's level 6. I'm acutely aware that I'm probably running out of tier 1s little by little here. So I probably need to be a bit careful with them. But I've got 1,000 tier 2s now as well. Let's see how the tier 1s with now the mounted counter buff does on this level 5, and it will decide whether we move on tile or not. Hierta, hello. Thank you for joining in, as well as Cosmin, Stefan, Jauba. Thank you as well. Yeah, good to see you, Hierta. Hopefully your season's going well. With I've been keeping up a little bit with Tim on how your season's going. Sounds like a very, very tough one. Cool, so now we need to occupy a level 6 piece of land, which, judging from this, we're pretty ready to do. Bjorn, of course, decided to commit inshallah, but not to. We'll survive. I think we'll do all right for level 6. I reckon we might be ready. It is in Bag End next week. That's a shame. If we're almost lined up. You could have jumped in with this server, which got some pretty pretty tasty teams in it. A lot of very, very big teams. So should be a very, very, very strong server, judging from this. So it's a shame you guys missed out on this, but hopefully there's plenty of teams in Bag End when you come in as well. I don't actually know who's in Bag End at the minute. We kind of sat around for a little while, so not too sure. It's wild to watch people in the server taking 8s and one already has a 9. Yeah, it's it is crazy. Some people move insanely quickly. Whoops. Right, can we take a level 6? Where is our nearest level 6? Right there, okay. We definitely will be clairvoyancing level 6s to make sure we get kind of the best out of this situation that we possibly can. Yeah, like Carmel with trolls is exactly the situation we're trying to avoid here. I mean, the other commanders with Carmel weren't too bad, so it's not something we're writing off permanently, but yeah, we might we'll skip that for now, basically. Shadow is... yeah, trolls again. Trolls. Shadow is half tempting. But with Flay... see if we can find a better one. If not, we might come back for that Shadow one. Doesn't look too bad. As with low skill points, Shadow is not amazing. It's just the flay gear that I'm not a huge fan of. Trolls. Another level 6 up here. That is the one right there. What do we got on this one up here from... We've got Aragorn, Faramir, and Haldit. Honestly, it's not appalling. Not appalling. I hope Mad Marskin and Ewok get worse RNG during the season. Yeah, we want our boys in. I've been working my magic on Marskin since the Echo days, and he's finally decided to come join the light side. Finally got into home, and yeah, that's I'm excited to see what they can do. Ooh, level 25. Don't want to accidentally hit that one. Same with the 20. The 15s are half tempting after we've been battering these 10s, but perhaps not. Let's head over here with this. Where are the little level 6 horsies? Doesn't want to give me any level 6 mobs. That's always fun. No, not on the other side of the river. I cannot get there. Goodness sake. What about over here? There goes one right there. It's a bit of a march, but oh well. What are your thoughts on Commander Guai? Now, it's quite annoying because I actually ran through the event stuff just before the stream. I didn't realise it wasn't public, but and kind of gave rough thoughts on Guai. He seems to be focused completely around large units. I'd be interested to see how that links with other commanders. I actually think he looks more like he'll be a useful commander to use alongside someone like Black Serpent with Mumakil, but maybe that's maybe I'm looking at that completely the wrong way. I just thought the buffs being large unit and not explicitly for flying units means that I think he's not going to. It's not going to be the best support for Eagles exclusively, basically. Right, we did hit the level 6 and we haven't actually taken it here, so we might need to... In fact, I might just use 20... I'm just going to use 20 stamina here. A little bit of a waste on, obviously, some commanders that are pretty close to our highest level, but don't want to risk losing this tile by playing out the draw, so we're actually going to recall and hit this with Serdan just to finish it off. No mistakes for me today. I'm going to be... Take a little bit of risk to take the larger risk out of the equation. RF Coils has been testing Guai nicely. We'll post more reports in Gore, I think, soon. I haven't actually kept up with any kind of anything game-wise for a couple of months now, whilst I was having a little bit of a break. So, yeah. So, what kind of builds is he testing? Is it a large unit exclusively build with something like Mumakil, or is it Eagles testing, or what kind of success has been? What are the main successes that have been seen? BDK coming in for the level 6s now. Ooh, these tiles are about to become a hell of a lot more exclusive, I think. The other problem we've got is we're going to now have to wait for troop reinforcement, which is going to be a nightmare. I'm actually also going to put... actually, no, there's no need to do that. No. I was about to put a tier 2 brutes on, but I don't think there's any need for me to do that. Sodan. See, I'm so tempted to save their stamina as they're actually in pretty good shape here. So wait, they've been hitting the level 12s with very little loss with tier 1s. I wonder about the 15s. Guess there's only one way to find out. All Eagles currently, Respect 7, Radagast, Shadow, and Bayon. I didn't think actually, that Radagast will be an interesting other option potentially for Guahir. It's a good point. I just can't help but think that Black Serpent support-wise could be a hell of a lot better with Mumakil. I think Black Serpent actually, people will be surprised how strong he actually is. He's very close to being viable already, and just a little bit of support with him could make him very, very useful. Emiru on the level 7s. How are we looking with people on leaderboards now? Benjadu still top, almost 6k affluence now. We're still hovering outside the top 300. We are miles off it. But of course, not using our best commanders, as we always have to caveat. And we do have Dane very close to max stamina, so I think it's wise that we probably will use him pretty soon. Now, we did actually lose more troops than I would like on that level 15 mob, but there's a hell of a lot of XP for 10 stamina, 5k, which makes me again tempted to actually keep doing those. It's keeping us off the leaderboards, but it's doing us pretty well for XP. Now, level 6 mobs again have given us another 5k stone, which is amazing. And we've actually got 10k iron from the level 15 mob. So now we kind of know that level 15 mobs can give resources, which is great. So that makes me, again, like using those quite a lot. Now, just waiting on HP and healing, realistically. And we are only losing tier 1s here, is the other thing to remember. No, I'm going to do another 100 of those, and then I'll stop with that and focus purely back on tier 2 brutes again. Keep going with those. Lots of XP in the bag is always useful. We can then use them for tiles again as we went forward. But you look, they've actually got very similar to Arron King of Men. They've not even been taking tiles or been equipped with the best gear. So, do I know who Kaib is? Nope, I have absolutely no idea. Sorry, Trent. I've never played with Kaib before. They've got a lot of their players in early. 75 in now. We're at 69. Panda's at 66. Panda are absolutely flying. God Emperor and Moscow join us. I actually don't know. We've had quite a big turnaround in home this season. I've been fairly out of the loop, as I said, taking a bit of a break. I know we've had around 20 new members come in. It's been quite a big change around. So, who have we got in that I don't recognise? So yeah, we've got God King and Zeit is in. Wizard of Many Colours. So welcome to all these new members. DK Cardona, of course, from the DK team. We have Spin here as well. Oh yes, God Emperor. So yeah, God Emperor has joined us as well. Hirta. Ducci has rejoined us from DK, former original homie. Mac Attack. Lots and lots of new members. Gugu Zhao has rejoined us. Another former original homie, actually played with me in my season 1. Got Black Kopi, which I assume is Black Zhao rejoining, who's another of my season 1 originals. CS Sendol or Kendall. We've got Nick. Trash Kids has rejoined again as well. So lots of, I think that's the end of the list. And Mad Martigan looks like he's just kicked off as well. So, and I think Emiru is kicking around here somewhere as well. No, Emiru's right there. Somehow missed on the first scroll through. But yeah, that's kind of some of the new members coming in. But yeah. Ducci was an original homie who joined. So he joined the team with JR when they left as like kind of a big group. Ended up in DK, and then his kind of him and a couple of his good friends from DK have basically all come back together when the invite was extended for Ducci to rejoin. So yeah, big kind of turnaround because we had quite a mega season. A lot of people got a lot of burnout. It's why we've spent time in back end and why we've needed a little bit of member turnaround because people who got burned out obviously and decided not to take a season straight after. So yeah, going well on these level 15 tiles. I think I just saw that we got another. It's another stone one. No complaints there at all. Loads of stone about to come flowing in from these sweeps when they complete. It's nice to know we've got that kind of in our back pocket for when we need it. That's why it's worth it to sweep these low-level mobs, even though it looks pointless. Very, very useful. And we've also got another 4K stone from hitting mobs. Left 15 mobs defeated, 0 out of 4. It's annoying it doesn't count the progress that we've done up to that point. Right. Is our main formation healed now? Looks like it is. Just check they've got one troop on. Nice. Another level 6 tile to come then. Of course, BDK is taking a lot of the ones the other side, so I'm going to try and move this way so I don't get in his way too much, if I can avoid it. That's the one right there. Go. Let's just see. It's not horrible, but not amazing either. Not like a Goth Mog tile is. Awful tile. Back end break's important, yeah. I can imagine. I know you handle a lot of your leadership, so you must get burned out as well. I know I felt particularly for Amelie in particular last season, who's almost like maybe not our sole diplomat, but kind of our primary diplomat. And with the season, if I wasn't able to do a lot of videos on it, but I don't know if you kept up with other updates provided by others. But basically, it was kind of a all on us kind of situation. So she was doing everything she could to try and help our team as much as possible and do whatever she could. As she always does. So so I know she particularly really appreciated the break, and now I'm not paid to do the YouTube videos. I definitely needed a break as well, hence the no videos for the last couple of months. But it's good to see that so many of you have come back out to watch start of a new season. It's great to know that support level is still available from everybody. So always very much appreciated from me. Right, I'll do another update of the leaderboards in a moment. Alright, it's marching over. I just want to see what the result of this is before I do that, in case I need to send someone over to finish off the tile. What else do we have for chapter progression? So it's 2 more level 6 tiles, and we need to upgrade main hall and our quarters. So we're not doing too bad for that one. Chewing through tier 1 troops at the minute. But we do have those tier 2s building up in the background. Oh, see, that's what I was worried about. I'm actually going to straight up recall Gandalf the White here and send him straight over to that tile. Surprised by that. I thought that would be an easy tile to take there, but apparently not. Is Witch King unlocked? Yeah, they've unlocked better gear now, haven't they? Just Witch King. Okay. Go. I'm surprised that went so poorly compared to the last level 6 we took. I suppose we did almost very close die on this one as well. And Frodo, Eowyn. There's a little bit more damage on this from Khaldun, so yeah, maybe it's less of a surprise they died. Still, pretty much almost taking it down, so there won't be a lot of issue with hitting it again. It's just a shame that I have to waste that little bit of extra stamina. Meanwhile, Círdan, Lurtz, and Lothar hitting level 15 on this mob suite means they can get a third piece of gear every season. So this season I thought, I'll just change off. I won't use Círdan this time. I'll go with something a little bit different. And using him as my sweep team, and he's still outperforming most of the tanks I have elsewhere in my team, doing pretty well. It's just, I can't ever feel like in my main team I should probably use him over Radagast, but hard decision. Círdan just seems to do a slightly better job, and maybe Radagast would be more suited as he can heal up the entire formation more than Círdan can. Maybe I've got those the wrong way around. All routes lead back to Círdan, which Tim will be delighted to hear. Football started one-shotting level 8s already. Flipping heck. Oof. With low troop numbers as well. And level 20 already. My God. Football is flying. So yeah, I think what we're going to do... Oh, I also need to use Dane as well. We're just going to change this over quickly. Because Círdan's doing too well not to use him as that tank. And just do that swap around. We're actually out of tier 1s as well. Oh, a little bit of reputation. Right, cool. That's that tile taken. So we need one more level 6 now. So that was with 15, 14, 13. And with our second team. So might try to chuck in Dane in and just go for another level 6. At least he'll get an absolute... It'll fail and I'll need to use the sweep formation to finish it. But we will get a buttload of XP onto Dane, which I think is the most valuable thing that we're looking for here. We've got a line of level 6s here. Is this a level 7 he's going for? It is. King is on the move. We're going to need to speed up or we're going to lose ourselves tiles. Right, that one's okay. I'd rather have ore than grain. That one's perfect. That's the one we're going to hit with Dane. That's trolls, but it's trolls with easy armies, which is tempting. Why didn't it open that summary up? And that one's all right as well. Okay, right. No, not that army. I've got in the habit of Radagast being my main army, so I keep clicking on that one. Right. Let's get Dane in like the absolute lunatic I am. This probably is not going to work successfully, but we shall see. Let's heal King of Men as much as we can. It's annoying because one more level would get him 3 pieces of armor, which could be very, very valuable. Right, do I go with... This gives the Divide and Conquer buff and gives focus and unit defense. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Still thinking, I should have got King of Men to level 15, but oh well. Too late now. Too late now. Too late now. We are going to give Dane still the best weapon, I think. No, we're not actually, no, because that Warcry buff will be too valuable to give up. So it means some kind of rubbish secondary weapon for Dane, unfortunately. Oh, Serdan's not fully healed either. That's frustrating. Yeah, it's just a case of getting that little bit of HP back, because I don't want to send this when I think we're gonna take a bit of a painful hit here. I don't want to do it. You know, I don't want to make it more painful than it has to be by hitting without stamina. Is my worry. Let's get this going. Doesn't use any of our stone. Octay, hello, have fun. Thank you for joining in, Octay. Let me check the report for Bullhead again. It's quite an interesting one. Yeah, small units is a pretty good tile. As I said, Shadow's actually not as dangerous as people think on tiles, as he doesn't really have the skill points to deal a lot of damage. So it's actually quite a nice tile. Right, they're all healed. So 2 minutes 20 to march over there. We'll keep the sweep formation here, or this one here, ready. And then this sweep formation can head out into the wild. I mean, in theory, I probably should be using this formation now to take tiles as well, as they're more than capable. Yeah, definitely capable of taking tiles as well. So maybe I should actually be sending those at level 6s as well. Get us some production in. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. We need more production. Badly need more production. I know, 6 minutes of stupid recuperation time. Let's see how this goes. We might be killing off a load of troops by sending 2 formations, one slightly inopportune. Undying's amazing in PvE. Yeah, I agree. Undying is probably the best PvE commander. Particularly for one trooping with early damage. That's why I use LOTR, because he has Weapons Master, so the similar skill to Undying for that huge, like massive amount of early round burst damage, similar to Undying. Even though he has worse stats, of course, being only a tier 2 unascended. I'd love to get Undying. It's I'm opening the chest. The chest I'm focusing on at the minute is Heroes Gather 4, because it offers Undying and also offers Saruman. I wouldn't be unhappy with either of those. Problem is, every invite I keep getting keeps being Helm or Azog, and it's doing my head in. I've had Bard as well. I've basically had invites for every commander other than those ones that I actually want. In fact, I do have a few Madams here. Let's see what we get for the invite this time. Nothing in the first 5. A sealed or respect, which is completely useless to me. And then this 5 will give me an invite. So let's hope we get... Can we manifest Undying, please? Or Saruman. Please, can we manifest it? Ready. Oh wait, I swear that was. Oh no, 7 more. Ignore me. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna go there. 6. Oh, another Azog item. I don't want Azog items. I don't want. I want Undying and I want Saruman. Those are the 2 I'm opening for. Oh, kill me. I always get things that I just do not want. It always gives me the commanders that I do not want every single time. I think next time I'll be opening up the turbulence chest where I can be a little bit more focused. Now, how did this hit go? Oh wow, that's pretty comprehensive for how much better Sirdan is than Radagast as my tank. Holy moly. Radagast. Sirdan. Bearing in mind, Radagast had Beorn level 14. This had Dane level 7. The difference is huge. Yep, Sirdan is going to remain my tank for the foreseeable future. Oh, do I go into Durin's Blood? I think I will. But yeah, the game hates me. You're completely right. The game absolutely hates me. It is unfortunate. I'm just building up items at the minute for commanders that I do not want. What did I get there? I got Warg Fangs and I got 6 items for Isildur, which I'm very tempted to dismantle and chuck straight into the and maybe purchase some more items for Saruman, who's one I've been slowly kind of getting up. So I could buy 3 of those. I could even trade in a couple more if I wanted. I don't need these. I'm not going to be getting Treebeard up anytime soon. Undying I'm going to keep, and I don't want Azog either. So I get a couple more items for Saruman, but not enough to make him really realistically usable. Especially not in this server, where everyone's got Zenith 5s. I don't think our Respect 1 Saruman will cut the mustard, unfortunately. Shame. I get him to Respect 2. I can at least use him for early season farming. But yeah, look at this. The difference between Radagast and Sirdan is insane. But at least that'll get us over the threshold required for our chapter progression. So we're going to start this one and get as many. We obviously used up all the helps we could possibly get from Fellowship on that main hall, so we'll do the same with this one here. Make the most of those helps, and then we'll keep moving. So we still haven't got the store. People need to get donating. Still got tons of stone on its way. 15k and 10k of iron coming from tips, so that's useful as well. Still not a lot of luck with mob availability. They're all miles away. Just going to ping this, as that is... Oh no, it's not in range. We need to think about how we're going to expand out of here once the tiles dry up, basically. And I don't want to build a fort, because forts are ungodly expensive. There has to be ruins around here somewhere. There just has to be. But unfortunately, at the minute, I cannot see any. Just a case of waiting out these draws, annoyingly. Almost there, though. Where are these level 6 mobs? Mobs, ruins, anything. Level 6s don't seem to want to spawn anymore, and that's a hell of a long way away, but off you go. 15-minute march. Cool. This will be done in a second. And that begs the question of whether they can do... Oh, higher level again, but I'll do one more level 6 first because I can give a bit more gear to King of Men and I can give a bit more gear to Dane when he hits level 10. Don't know why I marched all the way over there when I have these. I don't know if I've clairvoyance these yet. Oh, here he goes. BDK is on the grain level 8s. Our area is about to get stripped and we are going too slowly. Trolls, trolls. More trolls. Oh, just debating whether hitting these with small unit counter is tempting. I am not sniping his level 8. I'm not doing it. You're a horrible person, Kaz. That would be very mean. Where was that one that had shadow on it? I sworn one of these had shadow. Am I making that up? No, it's that one. Oops. Right. Not going to be as easy as the Frodo tile. Oh, I didn't put an additional piece of gear on King of Men. Instantly get that attack boost. Radagast finished his as well. Maybe it's not wise to send him on tiles because he is just dying. Radagast is just killing all of our troops. I thought we'd reach level 15 on that. I must be wrong as well. Just checking Radagast. Yeah, Radagast's healing skill is for 3 formation units, not just for his own. So he's better when he's got full army on everybody, I think. Maybe that's wiser if I try and hit a level 6 with full army, but obviously it's a lot more risky. Maybe that's what I try on one of these ones that I think could be quite easy with trolls. Yeah, not a huge fan of that gear either. Jump Commander of 1, march at him to freak him out. I hope BDK you're going for this again, or else I might as well have sniped it. Cool, Shadow 1's going to be taken as well. That gets level 16, level 11 for Dane, which is great because that's another skill point. And more gear as well. And then we can look towards potentially level 7s. In the meantime, we need to upgrade any chapter, any quarter to level 5 for the chapter, so we will complete that. Unlocking a lot of new troops, very expensive ones that we're probably not going to look to use. I'm acutely aware that if I complete the chapter, we're probably full on our storage, so I'm going to up that again. And I also might transfer some grain at some point into stone. But we're doing pretty well on resources so far, so build training grounds. Just get that going. Conscription post and barracks to level 9. So we are a little bit low on stone. One more level 6. Once this draw comes out, we'll be there. Get one commander to level 20. I think Dane will probably be the one that gets there. But yeah, it's going pretty well so far, I think. I think we've been pretty efficient. We haven't killed off a ton of our troops very early on like we normally do. So yeah, all in going pretty well. Use up some of those resources. Maybe I get all of these down a little bit. There we go. We're still going to be nowhere near the leaderboard. Oh no, we're on the leaderboard now. That's interesting. We're at 249. So top now with the leaderboard update. Top is, that takes a long time to scroll up, just over 6k. So Football Star hitting those 1/8s, hitting those level 8s has taken him up to 6,000 affluence. So put him up pretty nicely at the top. Benjadou, who's been top pretty much the whole way through, is now just right behind him in second. Tom Bombadil, the leader of Puro, I think, is in third. Alexander the Great in fourth, and a Golem in fifth. But the first thing I want to point out is, in the top four, there are 4 different fellowships represented, which is pretty nuts. Why split skills on Dane? Because I'm looking for the stun and I'm looking for the early round damage. Fellowship-wise, Home has gone up to second. Panda is still in first. It looks like we're closing in on Panda, though. Only 6k difference now. Small have also moved up above Kaib recently, up into third. Kaib down from second to fourth since our last update. Looks like Bane and Puro have also... Bane's moved up. Puro's moved down to sixth. Dragon has moved up to seventh. And Mine, you need to get a move on. Cap, stir up the troops. Mine down in eighth at the minute. But again, you can just see the how close this start of this server is. Between 8th and 1st is 40k, which is pretty nuts. 1 or 2 players coming online makes a huge difference. And you've actually got active fellowships, by the look of it, all the way down to like 12, 13, which is pretty crazy. Oh, I thought that was some more stone coming in then. Got another increase of reputation. Takes us to level 14, and we're just off getting Gather, which is a little bit annoying. Conversion, we don't want to take conversion because that would be a waste of ring points. 5 ring points for a couple of troops is not worth it at all. You don't get anywhere near enough troops or high enough value troops, in my opinion, to make it worth it. Right, let's scout some of these level 7s. We find a nice easy one. We're getting pretty close to where... See, that's annoying because that's one I would say looks pretty easy, but it's trolls. So the answer is probably not easy, and I don't think it's worth the risk. Well, that's not bad. Mouth of Sauron. Ugthak's not ideal, but that's not the worst one I've ever seen. But I think we want one that's really, really easy if we're for our first level 7 if we're going to one-troop it. And I will swap Serdan over to the tier 2 troops before I do this as well, I think. Captinian and Kaz just having a chat about whether you want to buy more Mathams in the chat. Feel free to fill my account up with Mathams if you really want as well. I wouldn't say no. Pyro just woke up. Okay, so mine are going to start flying now he's woken up. That's not a bad one there. Again, not like elite amazing, but it's doable. Is that a level 5 tile? That is a level 5 I did that on. I was thinking that's way too easy. Where's like the really easy one? I want something that stands out as being incredibly easy, just like Elrahir, Imrahil. I mean, maybe the first and third commander, Elrahir and Hergon, having damage skills. Looks like it might make it a little bit harder, but I think that's probably the easiest we're going to get. Commanders need healing again. Ugh. Gonna have to wait for that one, unfortunately. Radagast, meanwhile, how are we looking with you? So he's actually better with full troop commanders, I think. Do I just try one of those level 6s which had trolls and easy commanders? So this is Troll Falcon. Let's see how this goes. This could be a huge mistake, killing off all my tier 1s, but I'm willing to give it a try just to see how this goes with these 3 here. They're not got the best gear either, but I'm hoping that Radagast's heal skills will keep them all alive and make it so they do quite well. Go for an 8 before they'll all be gone. No, everyone will be stamina limited by that. Everyone who's gone for them already. Stamina is going to be my kind of golden goose here. It's going to massively... Shush. Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. Stamina is going to be a massive benefit to me here. Because I'm going to have an absolute ton of stamina left while everyone else gets held up by it. Nice. So I'm mainly just waiting for them to... those commanders to heal up, basically. Give me one moment. I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Back we are. How did Radagast get on with full troops? So, still lost quite a few, so maybe I'm wrong that full troops was the idea, but still he'll get another level 6 in a moment. Healing is still holding me back. Just want to try this level 7. Mute microphone next time. Could you hear? Oh God, please tell me you couldn't hear everything. Apologies. Grind first 24 hours doesn't matter anymore. Everyone has tile limit unless you're cracking one shot and 200s with 3 comp. Yeah, agreed. It doesn't matter as much, but it still doesn't mean it's not incredible fun. Yeah, it's still very fun. And Alex Kelly, that's why you wait 2 hours or so after server starts to hop in. You still have 2 hours of buffs when you get the 4th commander. 100% agree. I did that in a previous season. It worked out very, very well for me. But I only have limited time today because of the bank holiday and because of other plans. So I wanted to kind of get maximum use from stream time that I possibly could. So there's upsides and downsides. Winston needs screen time. He's currently wandering around begging for a walk, so I think I'll probably give this till midday, and then I'll take him out. He's just woken up. He had a lovely walk this morning. Now he's tired. He was tired, had his sleep, but now he's awake again. You want to come and show everyone? You want to come see everyone? I don't knock the screen. Up. Here we go. This is my boy. You're too big for me to pick you up. Oh, there we go. There we go. We've got a Winston feature. There he is. And there you go. You're the star now. You're going to have to play. You're getting in the way of the game a little bit. You're making me struggle to be able to... Off he goes, straight away. Yeah, a little bit of a Winston feature. Right, is everyone healed up now? It looks like they are. So let's make sure there's units. Let's do that. 2 minutes till that's done. But then they would be able to come back and hit before I did. What did I decide was on here? Was that the one? Or did I ping another one? What was it? It was this one I decided. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's see how we go. Just double check I've got equipment. Yep. Let's go. Hopefully this will get Dane quite a bit more experience than he would hitting a level 6. So let's see how it goes. Am I planning on converting any units? No. I use my level 1s, for tier 1s for sweeping usually. Right, 2 minutes so we hit this first level 7. We'll see how this goes. It'll probably be quite heavy loss, I imagine. Hopefully not too much, but obviously we had this on our last level 6. So level 7 is going to be a lot harder. So I think likely we will have... It'll probably fail and I'll need to take it in the end with the Radagast formation. But I don't think that's the worst thing in the world if we do have to do that. It will help us push the commanders up towards level 20 as well. So I've got 3 marches left on these 2, but I do also have all my stamina tinctures left as well. And I'm getting very close to full ring points again as well, I think. I don't know where to see now. So pretty close to full ring points, so I will be able to use invigoration again as well soon. Kaz. So Captinian just opened a bunch of chests and you got 9 Undying Respect items in 10 minutes. Great. Your luck is significantly better than mine. If you saw the state of me when I was trying to get respect items and all I got was didn't get any respect items. It's pretty disappointing. Right, Gandalf doesn't need the majority of these troops hitting level 6s, so let's just peel those off. Right, Serdan. Please don't die. Please don't just immediately die. Yeah, lots of new resource coming in as a result of these. Wow. 5 more plots of land as well, and we'll get up to the next one. Up to 35k of stone now as well, so we've got plenty of resource going on. 3, 2, 1, death. Oh, draw. Did achieve. Oh, wow. Okay. Not good. Very not good. Because we don't have a resupply on our... Ooh, that hurt. What do I do here? Because I can't heal the commanders. Because I don't have enough reinforcement points. Ooh, that stung hard. And I think these might just die. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose the tile. I think I'm going to have to send Radagast full army and just take the hit. Level 7 is always that kind of hurdle I struggle to get over every single season. I'm just going to have to take the hit with Radagast, I think. At least now we know Dane, etc. is not not ready for level 7s. So we can focus them on level 6s. Not ideal. Not ideal in the slightest. Okay. Right. Why did that hurt so badly? I'm surprised we didn't do a lot more damage. It looks like King of Men and Dane essentially just died straight away there. 3k and 4k is pretty disappointing. Hergon hurts on tiles, yeah, I agree. But I'm still surprised that King of Men just died instantly. Like, you think he'd be able to compete a little bit better. I know I've not got best gear on him either, but I think swapping best gear onto Dane was probably really bad because then he died straight away and wasn't able to output any damage. This is probably going to fail again, I think. I'm very tempted to troop up this formation, send it as a third just to make sure I get it. Oh, but I haven't got time. Kind of screwed if this one doesn't get it. In fact, I'm just going to make troops available in case I need to cancel and reinforce. Winston taking a moment to eat a pen. You don't want that. It's not good for you. Yeah, this is probably going to hurt a lot more hitting with... At least they're leveled, I suppose, but it's still not great. How much XP did they actually get? So they only got 3k. So actually it would have been better if I'd hit a level 6. Because then they would have got a lot more. More than double. Rookie error. As per usual. Right, have we got troops conscripting? We do. Let's keep them coming. So a lot of these were trolls, weren't they? Bit more stone. Get the barracks going then. Oh, there we go. They did get it. Oh, nice. Not too much loss either. Good. At least the follow-up was worthwhile. So I think we're going to have to do level 6s a little bit more. I might swap Sirdan out as well here for Gandalf the White to get him leveled up a little. And then soon I'll be able to have my full first team kind of... I might have Sirdan, Shadow, etc. and start getting them leveled up, and I'll be able to use my full main team to get the rest of like level 7s. Or I might just start using my main team just straight up. Just use the stamina and get it burned. Because as I said, I'm running out of time quite badly here. Just go like that. We'll run this for Oh, actually, no. Gandalf the White's, if he's the main tank, he's going to kill all of those troops. Shh. Might be better, actually, if I have that. And let King of Men do the damage and give him the best gear. And then second team can be Dane, Shadow, and then Radagast will kind of keep them alive. And try that. Something like that. Is that foolish? No. Here he is, and still the Tash. My Tash is glorious, Tim. You know it. You love my Tash. And now it doesn't join on both sides because I've had a particularly stressful week of work. Right. Let's try and rearrange my butchered gear to something usable. So again, let's give Gandalf the White focus gear. Dane's got a little bit of relative damage gear. It might even be better just to give him purple gear at this point until I get the hammers I need. So I think that's one team. Let's just go purples for now. Radagast. I think this might be better for him at this point. It's a little bit less unit defense, a little bit less command, but also gives evasive action. Yes, I think that's us there. Right. Tiers level 6 tiles that we haven't already scouted and decided are horrible. What was this one? This was doable. So we have Gandalf the White now, but we have a reduced amount of damage here without Dane. So let's go with that one. Shush. Going out in a minute. Right, Clairvoyance, a couple more of these. Basically, we're just trying to get the main team leveled up now, so we can start using those, and then we'll send those level 7 tiles. Yeah, both of those are doable. Would I rather Shadow, Maltop, Gorbat? Yeah, that's the one I'd rather. Did I check if everyone's healed? I didn't, so it's probably extremely poor. Oh, it's not too bad. Manageable. Still not level 15 in the ring, so I still can't gather, annoyingly. Did not know you were live today. This is entertainment. Well, I'm only live for the next 15-20 minutes because, as you can tell, Winston is dying to be taken out. He had a walk this morning before streaming and starting season, but yeah, he's dying to go out. So he will be. I will be taking him out very soon. Very serious, and we have a very serious team now. Hi to the new homies. Yeah, we've got. Why is this doing this? Why is it forcing me into Siri mode? Another flash of my face on the background there with the dog. Longer marches trying to find nice tiles here. We need to be able to get these level 7s here. Off for now. See you. Yeah, see you later, Kaz. Thank you for tuning in. Been an absolute pleasure. Doing well resource wise. Got plenty going on here. Hopefully we can get this done. The only reason I'm not speeding through my buildings here is we need a commander level 20 before chapter progression, so there's not really any point speeding on until we get that. Trent heading off as well. See you soon, Trent. Thank you. Am I live again later? Unlikely, because it's obviously bank holiday. I'm heading out with my partner, so she'll probably be around in the evening. I think if I sack her off on a bank holiday Friday for streaming, she'll probably kill me. Right, let's see how this goes with level 6. Obviously, we've got very low levels here with Gandalf the White, or a very low level here with Gandalf the White. But I think Serdan with King of Men should be more than enough to take this reasonably comfortably. Yeah, easy. What did we lose? Not a great amount, and Gandalf the White should have leveled up a few times. Yep. And Serdan a bit more healing as well. Now this is the one I'm less sure about, because the low level damage might struggle here, and it isn't running the counter buff. Can we see the season leaderboard? How's everyone doing? Yeah, sure. I'll start with fellowships. So Panda are in front. They have 70 of their members in and are on 236k. They've actually pulled away from us a little bit. They were 6k ahead of us last I looked. Now it's 10k, so they're pulling away a little bit in first. Home are in second with 72 members, so we actually have additional members in as well. 226k. In third still is Kaib, who have 87 of their members in, so 15 more than we do, 17 more than first, but very close in third on 222k. Small are in fourth, just behind Kaib, and they have 71 of their members in, so very similar numbers. Bane are still in fifth, who are at 91 members, so they've got pretty much a full active team already. Puro here in sixth, we only have 69 of their members in. We in sixth, they've just gone over 200k, so that's Small's partner faction. Mine have actually moved above Dragon here and up into seventh. They've got 65 active at the minute, so mine's kind of waiting for the last few. Dragon, who's Panda's partner, are with 67 members, are here in eighth with 185k. And then we've got a few others here with Solo, Rome, Taco, C of A. There's a load of teams here that are active, but I've never heard of before. So they're actually going to be, probably going to have very deciding impacts on this server. Hi, it's Wizard Many Colours. All my hopes for the ring have been on you. Well, you're pinning them in the wrong place then. If you're hoping that I can do the damage against some of these teams, it's not going to go well. Well, I'll see what I can do. Thank you for joining the team. It's always good to see new members coming into home. So yeah, thank you for joining us. Want to see blood and tears on my streams? Oh, you always see tears on my streams. Blood maybe not, but tears always. Salty tears usually. Right, so we took 2 more tiles there. That's good. Radagast lost quite a few troops there, annoyingly, which is obviously tier 2s that we don't really want to lose if we can avoid it. But yeah, another level 6 tile can be taken now, I think. Get Gandalf another level. Yeah, loads of stamina on these guys, particularly King of Men. It's more going to be Serdan's stamina as like the carrier that's going to be the issue, but yeah, I think we might use one of our stamina pots on him to get him there, to be honest, just so he can keep carrying Dane and Shadow for a little bit. We're doing all right for troops for a change, which is likely linked to the fact that we're not using tier 2 mounted units for a change. So actually surprisingly doing okay for troops, even though we keep giving them to Radagast, who insists on massacring them. But that'll go down the more of these that we hit. Obviously, as the damage levels go up, the amount of damage we take will come down as well. So our production's incredibly iron and grain heavy at the minute, so we really need to get onto these iron and stone heavy, so we need to get onto these level 7s pretty soon. Need to get everyone leveled up pretty quickly. So we're going to drop behind on production horribly pretty soon. Am I mental that looks quite easy? But then the trolls. I hate trolls. But then it might be perfect for this formation because they're running counter units. So let's do it. Screw it. Just when you get, the further on you get through the first day, the more and more of your time gets spent with marches. So frustrating. Right, that means you should have plenty of tier 1s available now. Let's go back on another sweep hunt. Where are the little level 6s that give me stone? Other side of the river, miles away. But oh well, let's go. There we go. Hopefully we can get some more of those stone tips coming in. What do I make of the new Pokemon commander? I don't know what you mean. I think you're going to get ganged here. Look forward to the DMs mid-season. Yes, every chance of that. Hopefully it doesn't end up like last season where it's everyone piling into one. I think that would... normally, like you said, when top 1 warband makes deals with top 3 for an easy win, that's exactly what happened. That's what happened to us last season, annoyingly. We're not going to play like that. We're gonna if we take a loss, we take a loss. Is what it is. We're just going to play for fun. We don't do negotiations in back end. We usually let the first couple of days or week go by before we start negotiations. If that means other people jump the gun trying to get a free win, then so be it. It's not how we play the game. Lots of level 7s being taken now. So misleading is the ease at which he's taking these level 6s. Makes me think, I could do level 7. And then I send a level 7 and he loses. Which is always worrying. No Diplo, just fight. Yeah, we're just doing what we have. There's already been just stupid shenanigans in this server already before it even started. Like originally when this server started, home were in Iron Hills and mine were in the east, I think, or similar. And then for some reason, one of the other fellowships, so Small, who were in third, switched over to the Iron Hills. Just for some reason, wanted to fight from day one over resources and things like that, which would have just made the server incredibly bad, and there's just no need for things like that. So, yeah, we've eventually moved out in the end after votes from our player base. But it does, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of tactic. If people want to get a reputation for that kind of thing, then so be it. King, what do you recommend with Dane, by the way? Do you recommend kind of going like this, or do you go 10-10 and then do Durin's Blood? Articuno is a Pokemon. Guahir looks like... Okay, fair enough. What do I think of him? I have no idea without seeing him. I had a look through earlier on in the video about where I think he could fit in. I think he looks pretty handy with Radagast, with Eagles, or paired with. I actually think it's more likely if he's usable, he'll be most usable with Black Serpent with Mumakil, as all his buffs. As all his buffs are for large units, they don't specify. They don't specify it has to be Eagles. So yeah, I think he'll be interesting on large units, which makes Black Serpent, obviously he's been very, very close to. I think Black Serpent's closer to the meta than people think, and a little buff there might actually help him. Guahir might be what he needs to become very, very strong. I'll just take a look at Black Serpent and just see what skill kind of synergy I think is kicking around. Do I have Black Serpent already? Really? Oh, I do. Yes, you've got Horn of Harad, which is an incredibly strong attack boosting formation, but skill, but it brings things down. Of course, you've got Haradrim as well, which works with beasts. So large beasts in particular would be useful. Again, makes them tanky. If you use that with Guahir's skills, which again make them large units pretty tanky, you could end up with incredibly defensively strong Mumakil. And then of course you have the Mumakil, Lord of Mumakil skill as well, which again increases large unit defense, plus their attack, and they no longer attack allies. I think they could end up being incredibly strong. I don't know how. I'll wait and see to see if it is balanced, but it could. There is every chance that it could end up being incredibly broken. It'll either be broken or rubbish. That's the one thing we can be sure of. Oh, don't want to do that. Right, everyone's healed back up. I'm not seeing many level 6 tiles. I know we've taken loads of them, but ew. Trolls. Although that troll with Mouth of Sauron there might be another decent one for the Radagast team to take once they've finished drawing on the tile they're on at the minute. Ooh, more equipment for Gandalf the White. Annoyingly, I don't actually have any good equipment for Gandalf the White. Just put some unit defense gear on, I think, for now. Just make him a little bit more tanky. That'll do for now. That's another easy level 6. I'm going to have to move on to the 7s soon. Now these guys are more leveled. I think I'm going to use a tincture on these two just to keep them kind of carrying pretty well. There's someone who's talking about him alongside Isildur with Beornings. Another strong combination. I wonder if that would work with Beorn himself. Yeah, so you can get dual blows each round. Or I suppose that probably overlaps a little bit with Isildur himself. But again, Beorn could be good because you could have, pretty strong commander damage coming in from his other skills whilst also synergizing with the large units. It'll be interesting to see, definitely be interesting to see. Right, one more march on level 6s with these, and then I'm going to work out what I'm doing with these level 7s because I need to get these done ASAP. Because I'm just hanging around these level 6s for way too long. It's just a waste of stamina. Annoyingly, Dane's not going to get, with one march, Dane's not going to get to level 15. But yeah, I think I will stamina tincture these. Just to help carry. See, Mumpork, we're here at R4 at level 45 and it got trashed versus a decent spender. Yeah, it's always going to be. That's the thing. Now they've linked a lot of stats in commanders to respect level. Spenders will always trash you. Like, it's nuts. The fact you get additional, attack, command, etc. when you respect up does take away from it a little bit. You're doing incredibly well for resources at the minute. I'm very tempted to speed through a load of these things and get them moving. He's used more wood than I expected. Gandalf's been marching for 10 minutes and still hasn't made it to this one level 6 mob. On the plus side, there's a couple more around, so it wasn't just a wasted journey, but hopefully we get some of these 5k stone tips out of them, or else it was a bit of a wasted journey. So what we got? 200 stamina on Dane, and he's at level 14. 20 less on Shadow at level 13. And Gandalf the White's level 11 with 40 more stamina. So they're getting pretty close to being ready to come in. Because think about the ones at level 17, they're almost out of stamina now. I might need a little bit more stamina just for them to carry that a little bit further. I think Serdan in particular is going to be key as that main tank. Level 7 tiles, I might even put in Serdan, Dane, King of Men, and I might run full troops. It's whether I do that or whether I just run this. They're making the level 6 tiles look pretty easy. Hard decision. Last time we thought we'd do fine and we got trashed. Meanwhile, others are taking level 8s. Yeah, it's another easy level 6. We've got to be pretty ready. Am I still playing Age of Empires? Sporadically. I am playing. I'm just kind of trying to make a decision on whether I want to keep playing or not. It's Oh, you're back awake again, are you? As far as actually in-play gameplay elements, there's not this kind of grinding element the same way, and it does make the game a little bit dry, if I'm being honest. I wish there was a little bit more to do, if I was going to be picky. They brought out a load of new commanders, though, so I need to have a look and see what the changes are and what I think of them. And then maybe think about making a couple more videos. I need to see. It's just a shame, because I get an impression that this game is, and by this game I mean obviously Rise to War, I get the feeling it's falling off quite a lot. As in the player base is falling off quite a lot. So yeah, obviously need a lot of decisions to be made. With all the creators going as well, is becoming an issue. Creator support leading to the creators leaving is, I think, it's making the space for this game a lot smaller versus other games. Whew. Darwin's already got his full level 20 team taking level 8, so we're not quite there yet. Though I still reckon with this team, level 7s are possible. I might just chuck... I'm going to use Invigoration as well. I might just chuck a full load of troops on Serdan, King of Men. Oh, he hasn't got any stamina. Do I want to use a tincture on him as well? How many have I got? Loads. Yeah, I might just use it on Serdan, King of Men. For the white, or do I put Dane in there? Hard choice. They're only doing 16k here. But that could be because there's 2 damage dealers in there, whereas 25k was required here from King of Men. What do I do here? Who do I have in that main team? Heading out for family lunch. Good luck, H2E. Thank you, Captainian. Enjoy your lunch. Hope you have a good time. Right. Fortnite is still my game of choice away from here. Mine is actually Warzone. And Warzone recently did something similar to what Fortnite did and brought back the OG map. And it's pretty enjoyable to play, though it's got they really need to sort out the cheater problem on there because there's too many people now who hack in that game, which is lame. But yeah, it's definitely my choice of game outside of this. Another level 6. Did we get any of the... Oh, we didn't get any stone tips. That's disappointing. It's kind of what's been keeping up our resources so far. We haven't had to do many exchanges because we've had so many stone tips in the meantime. Right. I need opinions from people, particularly in the chat. So I have, of these 6 commanders, who do I put together in a 3 team to take level 7 tile with full troops? I'll try single trooping it later on, but for now, I'm going to go full troops. I cannot decide whether the best thing to do is to go Dane, Gandalf the White, Serdan maybe, or Dane, Shadow, Serdan. Shadow best PvE commander. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. But I don't think Gandalf the White, Dane, Shadow will be able to take a level 7 yet. If I put all those 3 together. They're just too low level. Maybe I do 1 level 6 with these, because then it gets... How much does he need? 7,500 XP. How much do you get for a level 7? Not enough. My problem is that my gear is not very good because at the end of my last season I stripped down Shadow's gear to make some command support gear to test out a few commanders, and I forgot to use the season hammers to change it back basically. So I'm just kind of stuck with it. I could change it back, but I don't think I have in here. the weapons and stuff I used. Well, I suppose I got that there. So I could break this down now. Maybe I do that. Maybe I break down this lang now. Let's do that. Just feel like I need these to be level 15 first. Level. Let's use one of these then. Let's break down that. Break down that lang. And then at least get some of Shadow's gear back. Right, so. But yeah, I switched to using triple support build basically to just give it a test. And I was running Gil Galad, and the results were absolutely abysmal. I think I got 4 million merit in the first half of the season or something like that, or 3 million merit, which was already up there with my PB. And then I think I got 700 or 800k in the second half of the season. I was just getting trashed. Swapping to using Gil Galad was the biggest mistake. And I know how much you hate him, Tim, so you'll agree with me. Awful decision. And then helm-wise as well. Do I break this down? Probably. Sorry if you can hear a lot of background noise here. My dog doesn't have soft steps. Yeah, let's just go proper damage again. Probably going to save myself a ton of troops if I just did this at the start, but where's the fun in that? There we go. Now I've got the damage gear back. Have you seen Snagger Thorin reports? I have. I've been unfortunate to be on the recipient end of some of those previously. And yes, very, very strong. Listen, you stop bouncing things around the room. Please. Do I refine that one more time to 4? No, I think I'm going to put a bit more HP on Shadow because I can get 2 refines out of the same number of materials. Like that. There we go. Do I use no troops on damage commanders when taking tiles? Depends on the tile. So I'm weighing up now, do I go full troops? I still think, King, that using Serdan would do me better here. But yeah, depends on the commander. Depends on what my kind of goal is, basically, is the answer. Stop it. So Serdan. Right. I think we go with this. and then I'll send a level 7. What was this one? Just need to start getting those levels in quicker. One of those, and I'll be able to put more. If one's painful, next time I'll have more gear on Shadow and Dane, so it'll be a lot easier. But I have been Sean agreed. I have been one trooping every other tile just for this level 7. I'm going full troops because I think I'm going to need full troops to take it. Because last time I hit a level 7, I did one troop and it didn't go particularly well. Admittedly, lower levels, but didn't go well at all. So I'm now going to try full troops, and I'm probably going to lose an absolute ton here, but just giving it a try. Actually didn't lose as many as I thought, which is pretty nice. We're probably in a position where we can just keep full trooping and taking these, to be honest. I'm tempted to one troop here. Now I've got both of these at level 15. The temptation is to one troop. Unit defense would be pointless if I'm one trooping, but very useful if I'm full trooping. Decisions. I think we probably just want attack here. Yeah, I think we go with attack and HP. And we'll try a one troop. See how it goes. If we lose troops, we lose troops. That's the game. And all of our... Oh, I have to wait 10 minutes before we can use those again, which is always irritating. Right, HP coming back on those. Sweep armies just stood doing now. Still no tips coming in from those mobs, annoyingly. Marty, who joined you, is using it very nice. Yeah, I'm going to look forward to seeing those... seeing the Thorin report properly up close, I think, would be useful. It's nice to see them, but there's a bit more of an open meta now, though. Hopefully there's more of a meta. As to delivery. Hopefully something nice. Right, are they healed? Yeah. Let's try a one troop. Let's try a one troop, level 7 tile. Did I scan all these? I did. I think I decided they weren't nice. To be honest, we could probably use some lumber production. Oh. Sweet refuses to go down. Eladan. We did have a little bit of trouble with Eladan on the last one. It's not any easy per se tile, but it's not that difficult either. But then Gimli is not ideal. I'd rather not hit Gimli if I could avoid it. On good side commanders, I'm less sure on tiles on what's a good tile and what's not a good tile. That's a good tile. Very good tile. So let's try it. Let's try one troop, that tile. It takes 2 minutes to march over, so we can always send another formation to finish it off should we need to. Like we did on the last one. So last time we one trooped it. Just discorded me a report as this on Thorin. Very nice. Oh, Elrond in there as well. That must be hitting you right in the feels. That's actually a very interesting report. I'd love to know the respect levels of all of those commanders. To speak to, I'll speak to Martin, see what the respect levels on those are, because that could be a very interesting second kind of formation. Can we one troop sevens? It's always the question. Gore Panda are pulling away now. They're 16k ahead now. They were 10k last time we looked. Kaib actually are catching us up. Have they had another influx? Yeah, they're at 93 members now. Holy moly. We're at 73. They're back above Small. Mine in 7th. Yeah, still incredibly tight. Yes, I was thinking that would work for you. See, it can be nice. Yeah, I need to... All I'd need for that, I think, is... The problem is I use Gandalf the White in my main formation. That's the one thing in that formation that would be a problem. But I have King of Men. So for those who don't know, the report was King of Men, Elrond, Gandalf the White, and Thorin. So I have King of Men, obviously. I have Gandalf the White. I have Elrond R10 as well, so it'd be a useful look for him. The only problem is I only have Thorin R1, but maybe I should start putting some investment into Thorin. So I'd be interested to see if can he be used at relatively low respect. If so, maybe I should be looking into it. Right, how much pain is this going to put us through? Oh. Ooh. That's a great report. So the additional gear making a huge difference there with Dane and Shadow and losing next to nothing. Obviously, it being the easiest tile I've ever seen in my life helped. But still. Told you it was wasting stamina. Yeah, it depends on the tile. After the last level 7 I hit, it was brutal. But you were hitting level 8s, but they're already at level 20. Yeah, the problem is these have an extra commander, don't they? I could probably hit one with, if I had full troops, I could probably do it, but I'd want it to be literally like a buttered up tile. I'd want it to be begging for it. It has to be a tile with all the easiest commanders around, and then I'll hit an 8. But ooh, what is it trying to mark? Let me see my reports. Yeah, see, ones of these I do not like. Just want like a nice Denethor, Imrahil, Arwen. If I could choose, that's what I'd go for. Apologies, BDK, but they're the only grains anywhere in sight as well. Oh, that's not horrible. Although, ally on it. I don't have large units to counter it, so that's a no. More mediums. Yeah, I don't think any of these tiles are going to want me to hit them. See, that one I think is too high damage. I'm going to unmark that. It's level 7 as well. Right. Just want a very easy level 8. Everything is medium units around here. This is ridiculous. Oh, is that the one? Do we reckon that's doable? Or do I go for a level 7 first? I think I'm going to wimp out and go for a 7 first. Just one more. Get another skill point in to max Ironfoot. And, I won't be able to max Undertaker quite yet, but max Ironfoot. Ooh, another one of those tiles. I can't pass that up. That's too good of a tile not to hit. Just checking they've got full HP. Go. Can I hit that level 8? Do we think this is doable? Bearing in mind it's far enough away that I would not be able to send a second army. I might be able to reinforce, but I wouldn't be able to send a second army. But I don't think Serdan has the stamina to do a reinforcement, and yeah, I can't do 2 hits. Just hit the thing. Screw you. I don't want to lose all my troops. It's easy to say when you've got nothing on the line. He says, from the lofty rank of 117th. Tharman, I just noticed you've jumped up to 3rd. Smashing it. You're going to draw on Frodo. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind. I don't mind if I get a draw. It's more that I don't want to lose all my troops and have to hit it again. What skills does Frodo have on there? It's this one here that causes the draw. Takes a hell of a lot less damage. I wish I could just get a tiny bit more stamina into Serdan so I could be. Oh, I can. Do I waste the skill point? I'll use it if I need to. Switch to Durin's Blood now. You reckon now's the time I switch to Durin's Blood, do you? What would you recommend build-wise then, King, at this point? 10 in here, I assume. And then do I go 10 in Durin's Blood? Or do I put 5 in Iron, 5 in Durin's Blood? I have 10 more points after King Under the Mountain. I defer to you as the higher authority on Dane. I don't think the stun will be that valuable across the entire battle. I think I go all in on Durin's Blood. Yeah. Agreed. Agree with you. So that. Full troops. And send this tile. Remember to swap the troops over. Heal them up. If I lose everything here, King, I'm going to open 100 Madams and send you the invoice. And also doing this right on Rain's doorstep, so I'm sure he's going to be delighted. I'm also going to put Radagast, King of Men, Lurtz. In like this, just in case. Just in case I need to send for a reinforcement hit. Payment via Aptoid. Yeah. The less said about that, the better. No, we're actively pushing for nobody to ever use Aptoid, ever. He'll be delighted if you fail when he walks on and takes it. Yes, I agree. I think I have time, though, to send this second hit, because it's 4 minutes, so I will have time. I can just quickly hit reinforce and go from there. In the meantime, I think I'm getting pretty close to running out of time, to be fair. I said I was going to turn off just before midday or at midday, and it's now past, so I'm probably pushing my luck a little bit. But let's see how this goes. This might be a natural segue point. If I do start being able to take, that level of tile kind of this soon, it'll allow me to really, really accelerate because I've got so much stamina. I haven't used tinctures on these guys, so they'll be able to take 10 to 15. I've got other commanders who can be the tank. Obviously, I've got Gandalf the White still as well. I think I'll be able to really accelerate, but I'll probably do so off camera. Rashid Khan, hi, thank you for joining in. Thank you for jumping in on the stream. Hopefully you're well. Yeah, I think Doggy needs his walk. So fingers crossed we get this nice and easy, stress-free, nothing to wait for. Nothing to panic about. Just going to take it. I'm going to take no losses. Still think they're a little under level for it. But let's see. I could do with Serdan getting back to 20 stamina as well, just so I can do one more march, get him level 20, and complete the chapter section as well. Plus, I haven't had breakfast. I'm absolutely starving. So any of that Asdru Order King, if you want to bring it round here, feel free. Drop off some scran. I don't think I've ever watched one of your streams where you haven't failed a tile extensively. It's tradition. I came pretty close earlier on the first level 7, but I will admit this has been mild. This has been, for me, this has been successful. Like this was kind of my fail here. But then I did take it on the second hit. I didn't lose the tile or anything like that. I was able to get it on second hit. So actually being, for a change, relatively... Oh, no! I fully blame you here, King. This is all you. Oh, holy moly. Right. Gonna need to be speedy here. Full troops, full troops, full troops. Yeah. Have they got gear on? I bet you they haven't. Yeah, typical. No, that's fine. You can take this, fine. Oh, for goodness sake. No, wrong button. Panicking. He's panicking. That'll be fine. Go, 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 go. Get the tile, get the tile, get the tile. Whew. It's not British to panic like this. Oh, shush, Winston. Service crazy. Service crazy. One guy's using Barlin Z4. Is that on the commander leaderboard? Let's have a look. Where's this Barlin? Oh, we have an Elrond. We have an Elrond from Jezbar. We have an Elrond. We love an Elrond. Where's the Z4 Barlin? How do I see it? Or is it in World Chat? We have another Elrond going from God Emperor this time. I must kill you, King. Is this why you? Is this why they moved over? Were you slewing them in chats, King? So they wanted to get their Elronds away from you. Select Barlin. Oh, can you do with that? Can you specifically... Ah. I've never done this. Barlin, Barlin, Barlin. Where am I looking? Barlin. Oh, who uses Z4 Barlin? Psychopaths. It's in mine as well. So it's actually one of our team. One in Dragon as well. Who does that? Such a thing? Is anyone using Gwair? We are in a whale service. I wouldn't be surprised. We have one respect for Gwair with terrible gear on, you know, just utterly unusable with gear like that. And then there's a few Respect 0 ones. Who's probably picked it up just then. So this tile refreshes in 2 minutes 50. We hit in 2 minutes. I am begging that Radagast doesn't lose here. Who did all the damage here? Yeah, Gimli. I thought it was too good to be true, particularly with Warcry. It's an issue. Fingers crossed this Radagast team gets it. Did I put the gear on the right commanders? I hope I did. Yeah. Yeah. Decent enough. Right, fingers crossed. If I lose this here, King, and I officially fail my tile, and you make this my fail of the stream, I'm fully putting the blame on you. Told you, 100 Matham charge. How much will jump going up? Yeah, so we'll get to what, 408. Yeah, we'll jump up into the top 100, I think, if we get this, which is quite fun, especially if we're able to complete the chapter as well. Which actually, no, we won't be able to because he hasn't got enough. But yeah, level 8's just a little bit too much past us at the minute. I think one trooping level 7s is probably the wiser thing to do for now. That might have been a huge mistake there if I've just taken... If I need to reinforce on those tier 2s for Radagast. Oh, God. Cross your fingers, folks. Are we getting the level 8? We are. Nice. Big resource influx. How many troops died? Oh, a lot. For a second hit, that's a lot. That is a lot for a second hit. Die. Boo. Nice. Level 8's taken. So we got a nice little spread of commanders here. We're going to focus on Sauron, Gandalf the White soon. I think we're probably going to use Gandalf the White over Círdan, I think. I just realised, yeah, I can't march with Círdan at the minute, so I'm actually going to have to do that. Oh, for goodness sake, this is going to put all those bloody troops into recuperation mode. Stupid game. Ugh. But yeah. Nice. And then we should be good to hit level 7s again. But level 8s are at least in the bag for now, so we know they're possible. Just got to be a little bit cautious of when we hit the next one. A couple more levels and we'll be absolutely gravy. Sent me another report. What is my report? Gallo with a 43k heal and 95k of damage. Very nice. I have a suspicion they still lost that matchup though. Resource wise, did they lose that matchup? Looks like they might have done. I haven't swapped gear around before I forget. Right, where was that? There. Hopefully one trooping can take this pretty easily. Surely we're pretty much there. nice to see people using different stuff these days. Yeah, I completely agree. I think the meta is somewhat opening up, and it's good to see. The problem is that with the lack of respect refunds, they tried to change the meta, but there's no way for people to shift to the new meta. It's not like Call of Duty where if the meta changes, you shift to the other gun and then you work through and unlock the attachments. Because unlocking the attachments in Call of Duty doesn't cost thousands of pounds in the same way that getting a commander in this up to Zenith tier to be able to use them properly does. So the game there needs to be some kind of way to flexibly exchange respect between commanders, including respect already allocated. I think if they did that to this game, it would be the biggest regenerated lease of life. If they added something like, say you could strip respect off a commander and you had to go through the Matham exchange, for example, I would do that and I would reduce the loss rate maybe. So when you exchange in respect, rather than it being, pretty much 2.5 of these to equal to 1 respect, if you made it 1.5 to 1, but you were able to freely exchange respect on commanders, people would do it. And because of that exchange rate where you're losing basically half a respect, you're losing 1 respect token for every 3 you use, that kind of is that kind of tax, that depressor that makes the market people still need to spend in order to increase. I think something like that would be huge for this game and would really give it a new lease of life. I just don't think the developers think that far ahead, unfortunately. It's probably a little bit too late now. Yeah, there's been rumors of like a respect rebalance item for a little while that you can buy in like the end of season rewards, but it's been so long now that the faith is somewhat diminished that it will come. Anyway, dog needs a walk. I need to eat. I haven't eaten anything other than a couple of sweets on the stream all day. I've taken level 8 tile, got myself up finally into the top 100. I'll keep grinding. Commanders are nearly level 20. We've got our main team finally starting to kick on. So I think there's a lot more that we can push on here, and I'll try and record at sporadic times during today so that I can put out a full first day video showing how we've moved on. So yeah, hopefully you guys have all enjoyed the stream. Thank you for those who've engaged in chat, particularly obviously King, mainly for the last little bit. If you haven't seen his channel, check out King Under the Mountain, KUTM TV. Yeah, thank you everyone for jumping on the stream. It's always massively appreciated, the support from everybody. So I'm going to drop off, and I really hope to catch you guys on the next one.